people spread out who like just lost their money. And like you don't in Atlantic City, you don't know what the people's situation is. Some people want to get drunk, some people are just bored, like stumbled into it. So that one was like weird. And I remember like kind of after that show, I was like, all right, there's another one after this. You know, it's gonna be better. Let's hope. You know. And the second show was like, as soon as I walked back in, it was like 100 people already there. No, it was, thank God that one was better.
Because you got the crowd that lost more money than the crowd
Yeah,
before.
right. That's true. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what the crowd is about. But that show was good, and then they just got better. Saturday was unbelievable, man. Both shows were like sold out and like great. And I was like,
So do you feel like do you have new stuff?
yeah, I have some new stuff, and what I've been trying to do is kind of narrow my focus because I get like I mean like kind of like scatterbrain, like let me do this, let me do that, and I'm like let me just focus on teaching jokes because I've been slowly implementing them. I never thought they'd be relatable like to other people who are not teachers, but I've been doing these jokes and like I guess we went to school, people have kids who are in school, and the stuff's been working. Like so I've been in court. I've been trying to get a new 10 minutes on teaching. I probably have like 7 or 8, and I have like a few more I have to flush out, but. It's been.
So are you still
good.
saying it like I used to teach, or are you saying are you over that?
His New Year's resolution was every day he leaves a tip for new comics, so 365 tips, and they're good. They're not just like be positive, like they're like really like detailed stuff.
You can't say that to a comedian,
right? Yeah, like it's not gonna happen. So one of his things was like you could say you have a day job. He's like Caddyshack was written because these two guys worked at like this rich golf course and they wrote all the shit down and they wrote a freaking classic. So I just do it because I think why not? It's so easy to say I used to be a teacher and do the joke, and then that's it. Then the rest of my jokes, I'm not altering anything. I'm just talking about being a teacher. So what the hell do they know if it was like, I don't know.
But do you think that like
I don't think it matters, but I'm just programmed to do it that way.
Yeah, because the old advice was like but that it was such a different world. Like I just on Facebook all the time. I just like you see like you can tell they're amateurs, but they're in like a really nice comedy club, and that they have like a funny joke, and that's what like published on there. I know most of those, all those people that I'm seeing who are like highly profiled in these little clubs and stuff. Like their videos get tons of views. I know those are not all full-time comics.
Right,
like it's fine.
Yeah, right. I know. It's true. I feel like I don't want to say that it was easier back in the day, but I feel like there was more of a system. Like you would go do a show, the owner was in the crowd with like a notebook. And we'll be like, oh, that guy was funny. Let's have him back. I feel like that doesn't happen as much anymore.
The dream in the 80s was to get on Carson.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just everything to lead up to Carson.
And again, I know those guys worked hard, but it almost seems like some of these comics did well for like 6 months and they're on Carson. Like, yeah, I moved from Indiana and, like obviously
it was a clearer path.
Clearer path, yeah. Not easier, I shouldn't say that. But, and also it was just funny, like we're going out with some comics after the show and like all of us are getting like all into like the healthy initiative. We're getting like smoothies after, and I'm like, fucking comics in the 80s were like doing coke. Like, like everybody now is like, oh, I have depression, my anxiety, and I drink smoothies. And it's like, in the 80s, I feel like they used to like, they would like go perform like strung out on like coke. Now we're like strung out on anxiety. But yeah, it's just a different time.
Yeah, I gotta get, I actually want to go back down to the strip soon. Because I want to work on that joke that I sent you. Because I think that's like, I think that was the clearest way. Because I can actually, so you can hear when I read it too. I don't think I have it pulled up actually. Oh, I texted it to you. So like that joke about.
Do I have it? Do you mean to look at it?
So I asked the woman, no, I have it right here.
Oh.
Because I think this is how I want to say it. So I asked the woman to marry me once. Parents said no because I didn't have enough money because I only had $3,000 for the ring.
Oh, this is funny.
But all I had was $3,000. So that's like Bill Gates spending, $100 billion on a ring.
Right. It's your net worth.
But the girl agreed with her parents. She said she's okay driving around the Honda for a while, but she'd rather drive a BMW. And she was right. So we split up. Now I own a BMW.
Yeah, BMW.
I might have missed the metaphor, but
I like that. And that's
something like that.
That's funny because that is really all happened. You know what I mean? Like that's
literally
the stuff,
I was
great.
sitting in my Honda Accord,
like
and the girl said to me,
"It's
like it's okay being in a Honda, but I'd rather drive a BMW." Yeah,
like,
no, I know. So
you're
right. We should break up, and I'm gonna get a BMW,
and I'm gonna get a better girl. Yeah, you know what's crazy about that too? It's just like, how about the commitment? Is anybody interested in the fact that Jeff's willing to commit to the girl? Like that always bothered me. That should be the most important.
My friend Jake, he said that he was reading this study, and it said that I think New York Times, I don't know if it was New York Times. Somebody did an article where it said the more money people spend on the wedding, the higher chance they have for getting divorced.
That's crazy.
So he's like, the less you spend, the lower the chance. I was like, I'm gonna spend $0 then.
We're gonna last forever. I could see where that's true. It's almost like the facade on Facebook, like those couples always posting pictures. It's like, it could
Dude,
be
have you
covering
been
something.
seeing this stuff? Random thought. So this couple, it was like maybe a month ago. They have a huge following. They're like these healthy, like fit couple. They do like tricks together, you know.
Okay.
So they were doing a selfie, and the guy was hanging his girlfriend over the ledge of the cliff, and they took a selfie and they posted it. Nothing happened to them, but they got like such backlash because they were like,
oh, dude,
you know,
she fell.
getting to that. So they were like, you know, you shouldn't do that because people are watching you and they might try to copy you and who knows. And they were like, listen, we're just living our life and whatever. So there has been more cases where people are like falling off of cliffs trying to take selfies. But dude, it's even like, it's not even kids. Like in the Grand Canyon recently, there was like an 80-year-old guy, and he was like trying to get this selfie, and I think restricted area, so he like tried to walk around something. He just slipped, and the guy dropped like 300 meters.
Oh my God.
Because they're just trying to take a selfie. But it's not even like kids. This is an 8-year-old guy trying to do it.
But it's like, come on, that's not their fault for posting a picture like that.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean? Like,
people do like weird, stupid things.
Yeah, especially to get views or likes, or you know, especially comedians. Yeah, that's crazy, man. We've had, speaking of real life, I'll get into the. So in the beginning,
we
of
got
this
live on YouTube a little late because I had to click publish.
Oh,
at least it's recorded on there, but that's cool.
So the first time we started doing this podcast, I was where I am now on the dating apps.
What does that mean?
Like that sounded weird. Like I was single and dating, but like you you're engaged now, like, which is crazy. Like from the beginning.
Yeah,
I don't
were
even
we talking
think
about dating?
when you know what was funny about this? Our first podcast, you were talking about Wendy, like you might have went on a date with her or about to be set up or something. No. You were already dating her.
No. We started doing it before Wendy.
Before Wendy.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them though. We were talking like you had just started dating her, right?
Probably, yeah, because it was right after
like
that
2
comedy
years
show at Dramatic Hall, which was November 20.
That would be 2 years ago.
The show was the 22nd. I met Wendy on the 24th. So
Right,
we had already done stuff, but we did do some podcasts where we were like getting Christmas gifts. So we were going.
We were doing something, yeah.
Because my mom bought me that instant brownie, like plastic device.
Yeah, it never made sense.
No brownies in it.
How do you cook it? In the
It was just
sun?
a plastic container.
I never understood
There was
that.
nothing instant about that. There was so much more work to do.
Yeah, brownies aren't that hard. Like a half hour, no? In a pan. Instant brownie.
It's just a long time to bake. Yeah, it's like 30 to 45 minutes, depending. Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's so interesting, and this will be a joke eventually once I figure out how to do it. But the realness of it is, a year and a half ago. It was actually a year and a half for me and Wendy yesterday.
That makes sense, yeah, because no
Oh, no,
Dramatic Hall.
I thought this month was May. We're only in April.
April.
So, but yeah, but
20.
almost a year, 18 months, something like that. Year and a half. So, I went from single in a studio apartment to engaged
It's
with like 2 stepchildren. Like
Yeah.
So, but it's even crazy because her daughter is going to be 15 this year. So in 3 years, like she could get pregnant. Like in 3 years, I could be a grandfather.
Right. You're most
So I
rooting
went
for
from, like,
that, for the
single
joke.
studio. Ugh, I want so bad. I wanted so bad.
Man, I want her to get, pregnant. That's funny.
Well, what's great, like all that stuff, they get so mad. I don't know if they get mad, but like I'm just not responsible for a lot of that stuff.
For what? What do you mean?
Well, if there's like a grandkid,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to pay for anything.
No, it's actually.
I'll be there. Like I'll spend time. That'll be so much fun.
What, with the grandkid?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Oh, dude, this was
Especially when it's like you said, not full responsibility.
So this is something that I'm working on. You can help me out with this, whether it's now or later. But sometimes, so her daughter was starting to slack in school. She's pretty good. She gets in the 80s and stuff.
Cool.
But like in one class, it dropped down to like a 78, and I think it's a class that she likes. So I said to her, I go, listen, I was talking to your mom. I said, because she really wanted a pair of AirPods.
Oh, okay.
And I have them, and I never use them. I hate them. They always fall out. I think AirPods are so silly. $200 for something like I never use.
They're a lot.
So I told her, I said, listen, if you don't miss any more like lab assignments. I was like, if you don't miss any more lab assignments and you get your grade over an 80 by the end of the year, I was like, you can have my AirPods.
That's a good.
She must have talked about it to her dad or something like that. So she comes back the next week. She's wearing AirPods, and they traded like AirPods for her headphones or something like that. So I started thinking as a joke, I'm like, I don't actually have to get her anything. I just have to mention that I'm getting it for her, and then she'll tell her dad, and then he'll buy it.
That's really
so I'll never have to buy anything. I just have to bring it up.
Just bring it up. Just the message has to get to
Be
him.
like, hey, you want a new car? I was thinking about getting you one for your 16th birthday.
Oh, that's
Next day, a new car shows up. Like,
look at that.
Yeah,
that's good. Just mention it.
So I think there's a joke there somewhere.
Definitely.
I don't actually have to buy.
You could do something because she's a 15-year-old girl. Even if she's like a great kid, she's a teenage girl. It's got to be difficult. So like in a year, when you want her to move out, you could just be like, listen, got a place for you. Next day, she got a 1-bedroom in White Plains.
Gets me out of everything.
Oh yeah, no, that's funny. That's really funny.
She actually asked for the first. I don't know if you. How old were you when you went on your first date? Do you remember?
My
was
first
it spaghetti?
date.
Bowl full of jelly?
No. First date was like fourth.
Well, what do you consider a date? When you had a car, or did you meet at a movie theater with like some friends?
I've done that, like like a one-on-one where I don't think I even talked.
Like your parents dropped you off?
Yeah, like at the mall. So it was like.
How old were you? Do you know?
Like, yeah, it was like what are you in, like 14-ish, something like that.
So you had to ask your parents, hey, can I go
I think I told them. Like, I'm meeting this
at
girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, we met, like, we go to, like, the movies or something.
So they dropped you off. You saw the movie, and then they picked you up?
Yep, picked me up, and then...
So when you asked, do you think you were 14, 15?
Yeah, I would say 15.
So when you asked your parents, so I was about the same age. My parents claim I was younger. They still talk about this. But so I had asked to go on a date. I didn't even ask to go on a date. I was saying, like, I think I was either 12 or 13. So I might have been a little
Sorry,
young.
my first girlfriend was 6th grade, so whatever that was.
But like you date, I mean, like when you go out, not like
maybe
social.
Like, yeah, maybe more like a date. Maybe 15. Yeah.
So I must have asked over dinner time, and my dad brought it up to like a family vote. So my sister, Bobby.
You have even number of people? What if it was even?
Well, everybody voted that I shouldn't do it, and then they laughed at me about it for even asking.
That's really funny.
But so I wasn't like I was not allowed to go on a date.
I didn't know that.
I think my first date. I think I was 17.
The first time you went outside, I think you were 20. Your dad,
I think I was.
You were just allowed to go out to do yard work. That was it. Back in. Get him back in. Put him to sleep.
But so she's 14. She has to go on this date. Like same thing. Empty. Like just to go to the movies or something. And her mom said, no. I mean, I get that. Like
I mean, especially for a girl.
For a girl.
Yeah, that's like a different.
That's what I mean. Your parents said yes, and like on the other side they said yes.
I don't. You know what? It's at the point now. This was 20 years ago, so I don't even know if I just said I was going to the mall. Right. That was like a common thing. Like your parents would drop you off at the JV Mall. You get food. You whatever. Walk around. Get a movie. Buy a hat.
The JV Mall doesn't even have the movie theater anymore.
They don't. That was like the only cool thing about that mall.
It really was.
Right? There was nothing. Oh, they have like the restaurant there is good now.
They got like a new outside. It's inviting.
They changed it up a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So did you do you remember the first time you picked up a girl at her house? Because like now, like I don't know.
I got you.
Because I'm curious about it because I know like all these things are coming. Like she's gonna want to do a lot of stuff coming up, and she's gonna get a lot.
I had a girlfriend, and like when I was a freshman in high school, so whatever that is, like I guess 14, like for a short time. But her mom would like pick us up. I remember like being like the back seat, and like the mom would like drop us off places, and then like she would come by my house.
She was like a chauffeur. Like you both were in the back seat together.
No. She would be in the front. I was in the back, and the mom.
You're
was
like, hey guys.
And the mom was just questioning me, but I was killing the interview. I was killing it. You know, I was a year older, but she was anyway. But yeah, so the first time was probably probably spaghetti. It was probably the first one. Like pick up, go ring the doorbell, like that whole thing.
Where'd you go?
We went out to eat somewhere. It might have been when Chili's opened.
Mr. A's?
It might have been Chili's because I was like so excited it opened. I think I was like 16 or 17. But I remember like the parents being like into the fact that I went to the door. It wasn't like.
We were raised that way because that's another thing I was saying. Like, even if a friend came to pick me up, like they had to come to the door. And I remember I used to like going outside to like a friend's car. I probably did to you. Like, hey, can you? My dad just wants to. See you.
Of course. I like that though.
Yeah,
it's not
nice.
just like.
But when you're a kid, you're like. Ugh.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want to do. But I remember my ex's dad was he was in like the military and like a NYPD homicide cop.
Great.
So I had like what was so funny though. I think he was so blown away that I went to the door. I like disarmed him. Like he didn't know. He was like, come in. I was like, oh, all right.
I really want to do. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I think it's the first. Is it the first Bad Boys or the second Bad Boys? I think it's the first. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The Martin Lawrence's daughter.
Oh, Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Is getting picked up for a date, and Will Smith acts like the crazy uncle, like he's all drunk, and
It
they're
might be
like
the
waving
first-
the pistols.
Might be the first one. Yo, that's a really funny scene, actually. I forgot
wanna
about
do
that
something
scene.
like that.
That's
They
funny.
just finished filming Bad Boys 3.
Really?
They finished filming it, so I don't know when it's supposed to be out. Probably like.
Oh shit! They
takes a
really
long time to
waited
get
on
it
that
to-
one, huh?
I think it's
Yeah.
Will Smith. I mean.
Oh yeah, it's
You know,
He
he
does
has
everything.
so many movies.
That's fucking crazy though. Like
Martin, is not busy.
Martin is not busy. Martin had a comedy special like not long ago.
Really?
Like,
I need to see that.
I haven't seen it. It was like somebody told me it was like 2018 maybe. I'd be worth seeing. I think he's so funny.
Did you see Chris Rock's joke about Jesse Smollett?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I know the whole
Jesse
situation. Yeah.
Smollett, so I mean, without even being controversial, it's like pretty clear that he lied about it.
Yeah.
So Chris Rock said, he goes, Jesse. He goes, you ain't black anymore. You don't get to keep that. You're Jesse.
That's awesome. I love him. Oh my god, he's so like not underrated, but like I feel like some people are like I don't like him, and I'm like, have you really heard his stuff? Because he's amazing.
Amazing.
One of my favorite subtle jokes that he has is talking about how tough marriage is. It was during the Gary Shandling documentary. So Gary Shandling's like pacing back and forth, and he's like before he's about to go on, and you hear him go, "Marriage is so tough. Nelson Mandela got divorced." Guy was tortured
For like 25 years. He got out of jail, and he goes, no, this is too hard. Something like that, right? Yeah.
Something like that. And I was just like, that is so funny. But yeah, so that's interesting. So going back to your joke, anytime you want her to get something, yeah, just mention it.
Do I just have to bring it up?
You could even use the boy.
And I didn't
son.
do it on purpose. So I'm speculating that this happened. I'm not saying like anybody was
Sorry.
like saying like, oh, well, he's getting stuff from it just might have happened, but it just gave me the idea for a joke, and I'm very excited about that one.
That's awesome.
Like I want to test it out again.
And again, you know what's really so good about that? Again, not only is it true, it's like so unique. You know, like that whole stepdad, like whatever you call that, like stepdad point of view is like so unique. So like I feel like there's not gonna be anything like that.
Dude, it's gonna be so weird. So like not this year. I told Wendy not to, but next year, like I'm going to be celebrating Father's Day.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I told her don't do it this year. I was like,
Yeah,
please. I was like, wait till we're married.
Too soon.
Like
yeah,
officially.
Next year would be
But next year, yeah.
because that's gonna have to be like.
She's like, I'm still gonna get you a gift, but I'd feel so weird being.
Yeah.
Like the kids should always be with their dad on Father's Day.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to feel like they need to spend time with me too.
You don't want any more reasons for that guy to hate you. You know.
Yeah, he has enough.
Yeah. He has enough. Right. He has enough. Well, the good thing is that he's dating somebody else. That's important. Okay. Gotcha. But yeah, that's gonna be tough because then like next year the kids will be like, do we have to get Jeff something, Mom? She'll be like, yes.
I'll be like, no, don't get me anything.
Please don't get me anything.
Please.
That's funny. But yeah, that's gonna be a good joke. I like that angle. So
Yeah, there's so much stuff with family. Like when you said
my
like you
God,
were just focusing on like you were just
teaching
when you were dedicating whatever to teaching. Like that's what I should focus on. I'm just gonna do
focus
family.
on one topic. It makes it so much easier for your brain.
Yeah.
And I've kind of come up with like the way that I write is not like I'm not gonna sit there and write paragraphs like an author. Like I'm better off writing just like keywords or I guess like kind of topics or where I want to go, and I'll fill in the rest later. I just need to know where I'm gonna go, and then that helps me. And I can just fill it in. But yeah, man, the teaching stuff has been good, and I'm kind of surprised. But then again, the dating stuff you can't really ignore because and it's funny because we haven't really talked about this. It's just stuff will come up with dating, and it's like, oh, this is like perfect. I have to talk about this. So like I had over the winter, I was dating a girl, and I mean, you were dating for a while, you know this. You know when it comes to that point where you're like, man, this is not right. Like I don't feel like I'm into this. Chemistry's not there. And in this situation, she was into me and wanted more. So I did the right thing. I strung her along. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I strung her for
I had to do
only
that.
for a short amount of time.
No. I ended it, and I said, you know how it is, man. It's like you wake up, and it's like you're like, oh man, the morning. There's no more obvious time that's not right than like in the morning. You're sober. You just woke up.
That's one of my lines that I want to make better. Like I was single for so long, I forgot what it's like to wake up next to somebody and be okay with it. I feel like that can be better though.
Yeah, no.
Because people are like, when you say that, they're like, oh, so you were bragging about sleeping around.
That's
Like,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, right, exactly. So that kind of just like
She probably felt like she made a mistake too. That's maybe where I need to.
Right.
Maybe that's what I need to put it.
Legit. Wait, what'd you say?
I'm saying like to make me seem like less of an a-hole if I was like, I forgot. I was single for so like I forgot like what it's like to wake up next to somebody, and for both of us to be okay. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just
you'd
like,
have to just mention something like
to
you're
be okay
looking
with
for
it.
chemistry and connection, and that's not what
just
you were.
to soften that.
Yeah. But with this girl, I remember waking up. It was like the last time we hung out, and it was a short time, maybe a month and a half, you know. And I remember waking up in the morning, and she was like making a move for like morning sex, and I was like, oh no, like that's not good. When your day's starting with sex, you should be into it. I was like, oh wait, I got that new coffee I'm gonna try. I'm like more excited about that. And I was like, I need to end this. So that didn't work.
That's such a bad sign that you were like,
sign.
we just did it.
I know. And I was acting like we were married for 40 years and just came like, I was like, this is not. And again, it wasn't really like, you know, as you get older, like it's not like all about like attraction for sex. Like you want to like have a connection with someone, you know?
Yeah.
So that didn't work anyway. So the next relationship I was in was just recently, and I didn't tell you about this. It was a girl.
I haven't spoken to you in that long. You were actually in a relationship?
No. I'm calling them relationship. We're dating. It wasn't like official or anything. It was just one of those things where we dated for a month, and I was like, oh, like this is something. Like this girl, I like what she's about, and just one of those where there was no like, obviously we weren't like in love. We were only dating for about a month, but it was like serious potential, you know. So she ended up, we were gonna hang out on like a Wednesday, and she was like, she did like a cancel the plan breakup in one text, and I was at work. And I remember like a kid coming up to me. It was like the end of the day. And I remember reading it. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like, Mr. Favia. He's like, can I go to the bathroom? And I was like, I didn't even know what I said to him. I might have cursed him out. I'm like, this motherfucker, fuck. Yeah, go, just go. I was like, fuck, how did that happen? You know? And what's funny about it is, so there's a few things. We weren't having sex. And I thought in my head it's because she really liked me, but it was just because she didn't.
Like, how did you convince yourself you weren't having sex because she liked you?
How did I what?
How did you convince yourself that you weren't having sex because she liked you?
Well, no, not me. Like, I made a move on her, and she was like, no, I just want to take it, like, whatever.
Because, like, I really care about you. I don't want to.
Yeah, and it seemed like, she was into me. But anyway, so she wrote me a text I'd like to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to read
I've been waiting for this. You told me about this.
I'm going to read the entire thing. So, hey, Frank. And this is where I was like, she's breaking up with me, and I'm like, so we're not hanging out tonight. I was like, what the fuck? What is happening right now?
Wait, don't spoil it. Wait.
I won't. So she says, hey, Frank, so I just want to be honest. I think you're really cool, and I honestly had a great...
She said honest twice. There's something else going on.
Oh, of course.
I just want to be honest. Honestly, I think
you're really cool, and honestly, I had a great dating experience with you, but I don't really think we have strong chemistry.
Dating experience?
Like what I'm looking for.
It's like she's writing a review.
She kind of is. She kind of is. I feel
like, listen, the service was great.
Great service. Oh, great service. I provided such great service. I feel like we're actually very, very alike, so I get more of a friend vibe. I mean, you would think that you'd want to be alike with somebody.
You put a lot of thought into this.
I was taking it slow with you. No sex. That's where the no sex comes in. But I don't want to force it. So I just thought I'd let you know. I don't want to waste your time. Again, though, thank you for being one of the most normal guys out here and taking your time to try to get to know me. I definitely had a lot of fun.
Hold on. Thank you for being one of the most normal guys out here?
Where?
Just in the world?
In the world. I think just in the world. So I honestly read that, and it was like, as much as it sucked, I was just like, obviously there's some things there that are like, all right, whatever. But that's like, she didn't have to do that text. So I save this text for the next time I break up with someone. I'm just changing the name. It's beautiful. I mean, she highlighted some of my strengths. This is great.
You know, it'd be great if she copied that from somebody.
That would be, and there's just, this has been for years. This has been Danny moved on.
And then it comes back like maybe that initial
that
person gets that text, and he's like, wait a minute, my line's been going around.
She copied it from someone else, and then maybe I send it to a friend, and they're like, wait, my friend is.
Do you know?
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good way to go with that. See, that's all I had for the joke. I haven't really done it on stage, but so that was true. And that's why comedy is great, Jeff. Because as much as that stung, I was like, all right, you weren't in love with this girl. It just sucks it didn't work out. However, it's time to write. Like, you know. So I'm going to spin it into a whole friend zone thing where this is like.
But see, what's great about what you said, and it's actually real, because like, even though you have topics like there's work and dating, you got that text while you were at work. Mm-hmm. So it's like you could blend that right in.
Yeah, I could. I literally was at work. And I'm just like, oh, let me see, let me see what time I'm picking her up. Oh, no. Oh, it's all coming to an end. Okay. It's the hangout and everything. Okay. I'm like, God damn.
I just always wonder. I'm glad I don't have to think about it anymore, but I always wonder, like, why like, so when did you you were supposed to hang out on Wednesday? When did you make plans? Was that did you make plans on Monday to hang out on Wednesday?
So this is where it gets worse. All right.
I love when I ask a question and there's like I can tell you're answering a question that's like 3 questions
And I know
from now.
But I know you want to know this. Like this is the honest way I know how to answer because you should know more information. So Sunday I took her to that X2O place in Yonkers, that like really nice brunch place. I've been waiting to take a girl there because it's like beautiful. It's like right on the Hudson.
You know I'm gonna have a question. Why is it called X2O? What is that?
No idea. No idea. H2O.
It's a play on
water. Yeah.
So X is.
You would think X would be bad.
Is that supposed to be alcohol? Like H2O, X2O?
You know what? I didn't look into this. It's unlimited alcohol. Maybe that's why.
Unlimited alcohol.
Sorry, unlimited mimosas and prosecco.
I've never walked into a place and be like, listen, there's a limit on alcohol. Never had a bar say that.
I mean, it's like a flat rate. You pay, and then it's expensive, but
for
it's
brunch.
Like
you get like a $60 brunch or whatever.
Exactly, one of those. So I was like, you know what?
All the mimosas you can drink.
I was like, how can I spend a lot of money and still go home hungry? Brunch. Let me do brunch. I went home so hungry.
Just the word brunch, like I just have
I
this
hate
like
it.
thing about I'm like
the idea.
The idea sounds so exciting. Then you actually do it, and you're like, I could have done this at home.
You're like, it's not even.
You cut up fruit.
It's not even a real meal. It's not breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So I paid for a meal, and it's on Sunday, and that gets into the whole Sunday fun day thing, which I hate. If someone says that, I'm not a violent person. I want to blast someone in the face when they say
Saturday, Fatterday. I don't know.
But Saturday fun day, that's a fun day. No work the next day. You see where I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So the brunch was lovely, and then it ended
I forgot what question I initially
right after
asked.
that. I forget what you said.
Oh yeah. So okay. So Sunday you hung out, and then
we had like the plan then. I was like, all right, so like let's hang out Wednesday. I was like, let's just like hang out, like come by, or I was supposed to go by her place, or she'd come by my place. That kind of hangout.
Where does she live?
She lived in Washington Heights, so she's like 15 minutes from me in Yonkers.
So now, did you guys like after that? How many dates was that one?
That was like the 5th date.
So like when you say goodbye, you kiss on the lips?
Yeah, like a little small makeout.
A makeout?
Yeah, a little makeout.
So that's what I mean. Like
I do everything backwards.
No, but I'm saying like
when I first see them, I make like I don't even know who they are. I'm like very cold, and then I make out with you at the end. I think I might have it backwards.
But Sunday is brunch and a makeout.
Yeah.
Make plans Wednesday, and then
what happened Monday and Tuesday?
Right. It's like so I could see like Wednesday being like, because even on like, listen, this isn't working out anymore. Maybe Wednesday you just say, hey, I can't do it today because of this, and then Thursday you say, you know what, I was actually thinking, but she got it all out of the way in one text,
One
which is
shot.
actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was fine. Again, you don't even know me that
I have never
much.
dated 2 girls at the same time. Like I just feel like
I wasn't
the
doing
girls
that.
are always like they're kind of like they're hopping, like they're dating a guy and then they
Well-
meet somebody else and then they go, because that's what it sounds like.
100%.
Again, yeah.
100%. It sounds like a new guy or an old guy who's like heard about Frank and is like, I'm gonna lock this down now, something. But it's tough because an attractive girl in an online dating thing, she's got fucking 100 guys. You know what I mean? So it's tough. Everybody does. There's just so many options. D.F. Sweedler has a great joke about that. He's like, I don't want to do online dating. I don't want to date a girl with options. That's perfect.
That's pretty good.
So that didn't work out. I ended up in the friend zone, I guess. But
No, you ended up in the I don't want to talk to you anymore zone.
thank you.
Yeah,
But
you're not even friends.
Thank you. So this is what I wanted to get into: the friend zone and the don't ever talk to me again. That what you really want to say is that. But I've had girls break up with me and be like, oh, I just want to be friends. Yeah, you don't mean that. Like force a friendship. I want to actually get all the girls that friend zone me together for like a reunion, like and just meet all of them. Be like, hey.
I've wanted to do that here,
Like,
where I
have 'em
film
all
them
up.
all. Like
Come
like
on in.
sometimes
No
on the
hard
news, like
feelings.
they'll bring in like to talk about like how do you feel about this politician? We'll have like the bleachers with 2 rows and they'll
That's
like ask them
fucking
questions.
hilarious,
I want to do that for like all my ex-girlfriends.
Dude, that's really funny. And just be like, what was it? Where did it go wrong? But yeah, so that's where I'm at now. Yeah, that I just had to tell you about that. I was like, oh, this is good. But it was one of those when I got the text. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good later. Yeah. So good old friend zone. Maybe that's a name for an album. The Friend Zoned.
No.
I got out of the friend zone once.
No,
Can
your
I-
album. The
can I
next
end?
special.
I need
you
you
do,
for creativity for the album name for sure.
It's Puppies Without Paws. It's not even. It's not even
that's-
close.
oh,
Everything
that's
that you
awesome.
do, your URL,
I
your
never
first
even
special,
thought about
everything is
that.
Puppies Without Paws.
I never even thought about that. That's great.
Everything.
That's great.
That's unforgettable. That's why I say that. Like,
definitely
you know,
want a
Go
t-shirt.
to puppieswithoutpaws.com.
That's
like
funny.
that should be, and then it redirects. Like your URL is still frankfaviacomedy.com, but you buy that other URL and redirect it to that.
That's great. I didn't even thought about that. I thought about T-shirts for that down the road, but
you can sell a book like because you can do a whole series
book
on
without
it.
words.
Book without words.
Yeah, that's funny. Puppies
buy
and
it.
Paws. You know what was great about that? There was the observation I loved about that, because I know people don't like to donate at the grocery store, but I always did it about sick kids, and it was just too serious. But I'm like, that observation's funny. I'm like proud of myself. I never gave up on that, and one day I was like, puppies without paws. That's it. There's no way that doesn't work. I was like, that's it.
I love hearing people's because I say no, like flat. They're like, do you want to? I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about it.
I say no, thank you, and I feel fine about it. Yeah.
But I hear people in front of me being like, no, no, thank you. I donated $1 yesterday.
So I added that to the joke. Did you know that? Like, I added that line.
You've heard people say that before too?
Yeah, I had the joke going for like 3 years, and I
you
heard
know they
that.
didn't. It's like, just say no.
I heard that a few months ago from a lady in front
Why
of
you
me.
gotta lie about
Donated
not
last
wanting
week.
to help?
So somebody went down again. Yeah. I donated last week. No, you didn't. This cashier was here last week. You didn't donate. That's what I do in the joke. But yeah, man, that was a fun one, because I didn't give up on that joke.
I have to fix your mic stand because
The stand.
well, I'm just looking at it. It blocks your face most of the time, so I gotta figure that out at some point.
Yeah, that's all I got on that.
I mean, that was a lot.
I had something else funny.
So Frank, I actually want to show you something, and I'll swing this around so
yeah,
anybody watching on YouTube can see it. So, I started. You know the Ring, the doorbell, the video doorbell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we have the Ring, and it runs out of battery like every couple of weeks, so we have to charge it. So one night when I was charging it, I put it in the bedroom, and when I went to sleep, because Wendy's been telling me like,
oh my God,
like a lot of I've been like doing it, like even the other night.
Weirdest person.
I feel bad. I wish I had this film, but I feel bad about it. I guess I'm tried to hurt her the other night,
my God.
which I'm not proud about.
No.
You know. But I'm gonna show you here, and I could flip it. So
Oh
everybody
my
can see
God!
it too.
Please.
So I don't. You don't have to hear sound and stuff.
This
and
is
I'm
you
sure
sleepwalking?
I don't know if they're gonna be able to see that. It doesn't matter. But so so I never sleepwalk, right? So this is like 6 minutes. I just put this together of like all my.
Oh, you put this. This is throughout a whole night's sleep. Basically.
This is 2 nights.
Okay.
So I was moving around for 7 minutes. So like you
Where's
see
Wendy?
stuff. She's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's gone. Like even last night, dude, she didn't even want to sleep in the same bed. Like I feel really bad about it.
Oh shit.
But so, dude, there was one of them that'll come
You're
up.
dead asleep right now.
100. And Wendy will say like, "You're talking to me,"
Yeah, yeah. But
and she's like, "Your eyes are wide
it's like
open."
Step Brothers.
Dude. So the other night, I'll tell you this happened last week. It's a little risky, but
What are you doing?
so in one of these, I'm gonna like try to like make puzzles or like I'm putting together puzzles or something. So actually, it's I don't have the audio. There's audio on this, but I'm not gonna play it. But the story I'm telling you about is actually in this, and I'll tell you when it gets up to it. But so the.
What do you think looks like? Oh my God, this is fucking hilarious. I've always wanted this footage because we were roommates for a few months and have. I've
like
crashed at
you've
your
seen it
place,
before?
No, not really. Like, I've heard you talking maybe, but I feel like I'm such a heavy sleeper.
So what I'm playing for Frank right now, as I explained, is just.
Oh, he's up.
So I sleepwalk, and Wendy actually keeps me in the bed. Like sometimes I've tried to get up, and she keeps me down. But so there was one night that's coming up, and I was like laying sideways, like perpendicular to Wendy, and my head was on her belly. And I guess I was saying to her, I was like, "Hey," "Hey, Wendy." She's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Have you ever been downtown?" And she goes, "What?" She goes, "Downtown where?" I go, "Downtown to Penis Town."
That is the worst pickup line ever. Oh my God.
And then she goes, "No," and I just like rolled over and went back to sleep.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
So I'm starting to do this more and more. I actually wanted to like study this. I wanted to see like I got to try to break it down, because I'm like one of the, I don't know how many people do this, but I do it almost every night. And Wendy's like, "I don't understand how you're rested, because you're always like, you're always moving." Like she's like, "How do you function like throughout the day?" Let's look at this. So I don't know. I was just like snapping. I was like pointing at the sky.
This out of him is like a pillow.
The pillow I threw out. But I want to see like if it depends on what I eat, or it depends what time I go to sleep,
Caffeine.
or what I watch before, like what type of day I had. I want to start like making a journal.
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy's up. She didn't know what was going on because I was screaming. She said that one I was screaming like no, 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 no. Like so seems to be my common theme. I scream. So wait, I think this is me putting up. I might be doing a puzzle. But yeah, I mean, I tell people, look at this.
Are you giving the finger? Oh, that's
no, I'm pointing. And wait, where is it? Where is it, Frank? It's right there. It's right there.
Oh
That's where it is. So I do this all night.
Oh, this is great.
So I have like crazy stories, you know, like I've gotten up and screamed in people's faces. Like our friend Chris, I like walked over to him like I was like a zombie, like I was dead, and I was staring at his face. And then he said, "What are you doing?" And then I just yelled at the top of my lungs, like, "Ah!" As loud
And
as
he
I could.
definitely thinks you're messing with him. Like if he doesn't know.
He had no idea. So like everybody, this happens all the time. Like in the morning, people be like, "Dude, that was crazy last night." I'll be like, "What happened?" So Chris was like, "You don't remember?" So with Chris, I was like staring at a TV that was facing away from him, staring at the TV.
That's freaky
And then
as
he was
hell.
like, "Cobelli, what are you doing?" And then I walked over to him and screamed in his face. Lol, I was sharing a hotel room with him, and he was like getting up to use the restroom and walked by the foot of my bed, and I jumped up and I yelled at him, and he like fell into like a table, and he's like, "Dude, how am I supposed to go back to sleep?" I looked at him and I said, "How am I?"
And you went to sleep.
Back to sleep.
Oh.
Hey, who's there?
Yeah, that's a good point though. Wendy makes. How like you're not well, maybe you are asleep. I don't know.
Well, so some people, like Wendy's had some sleeping issues the last couple of years where she experienced night terrors.
Oh,
right?
great. And now she has you.
Well, now she has me, yeah. But she was saying, like, she's like, when I experienced those night terrors, because they happened for like a couple of years, so that's when I was saying Penis Town. That's what I'm looking at her. And I'm like, "Wendy, you want to go downtown?" She's like, "Where?" I was like, "Downtown to Penis Town. That's right here."
Oh my God.
I'll make the video public, and then I'll put it in the comments if anybody actually wants to watch this.
You should do a sleep study.
Well, yeah. Remember, I was in Boston. I was going to do the Harvard sleep study.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that was tough because they wanted me in like a white room for a month.
Oh God.
Look at this.
Oh, she put the light on.
Oh, we sleep with a little light on. But
trying to kick somebody?
I don't know what I'm trying to do there. I'm like pointing with my toe at the ring. So I don't know what it means, man. I mean, it's interesting. So Wendy was like, she's like, I couldn't even function, like for those 2 years when I was having night terrors. She's like, my dreams were so vivid. I was like, I think it's easy for me because this has just been my whole life.
Yeah, and you don't
like
know.
I'm just used to. I'm like, it's no big deal.
Right. And you think maybe you're asleep too.
So yeah, that's most of it. But dude, I mean, that's constant movement, and that's just the best ones. Look at this.
I think it's right there. That was the best one. The pointing. You were just pointing to the ceiling.
Yeah, so that's basically it. But
that's a good idea though to do that. To catch it with the ring, with the camera.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
I mean, it works because it's motion activated and it's night vision, so it's it sees that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's my sleepwalking update. I'm still doing it.
Yeah, do some sort of sleep study. It'd be interesting. Don't they? I think they have one where my friend works at Phelps Hospital.
But what are they studying?
I don't know. It must
They're
be
gonna be like, hey, so it's true, you're sleepwalking.
Yeah, you're insane. I wonder if they give you like, I don't know if they'd give you like medicine. I don't know what they would do.
Because I'm not gonna be into that.
No, I know, but I was thinking like, what if they give you like melatonin, like a natural sleep aid? I wonder if that. I have weird dreams though with melatonin though, so that might even make it worse. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll definitely put you. So like Wendy will say, this is what's weird. I think. You know how they say like it takes a certain amount, a couple of hours to get to REM?
Yeah, like 3 hours.
For me, it's 30 minutes because I'm sleep talking 30. Like after I fall asleep.
Oh really? Oh, it doesn't happen like
vivid dreams. Oh. It's like right away. It's not really like at 5 o'clock.
Do you remember the dreams? Not really, right?
I remember what they feel like.
Okay.
Like there was a dream. This was when I was younger. I was probably like 11 or 12, but I had a dream that my brother Eddie died.
Oh shit.
And it was so vivid, I woke up and thought it was real. Yeah, so in the dream, he died, but then I continued living in the dream. So I went to sleep and woke up.
Oh, you wake up like relieved. You're like, oh, thank
no, I'm saying in the dream I went to sleep and woke up for 2
Oh.
weeks. I lived 2 weeks in a dream,
shit.
thinking my brother was dead and going to like the funeral and experiencing life. Like I lived 2 weeks in a dream. So when I woke up, I thought it was just like the next day of the dream.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I thought Eddie was dead.
Ago, yeah.
So then it was like, I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what happened and what triggered the thought. I went, oh my God. I was like, that was all a dream.
You're like,
I was like, Eddie's still alive, and none of that happened. So like that I remember very specifically.
Damn.
But most of the time I just remember the feeling. Like if I wake up super groggy and I'm like, I know, I'm like, wow, I had something intense happen last night.
Oh, okay. So you know if you were moving
Yeah, I
around.
just remember the feeling.
you
I
can
don't
kinda-
remember specifics.
Okay, because like I was moving around. Do you ever get out of the bed or not really?
Yes.
Oh, you do. Oh
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah.
that's what could be dangerous. 'Cause who knows? Leave the house or something. You know what I mean?
I remember watching. This was years ago. This guy had such a bad sleeping disorder. He was getting up in the middle of the night and running 20 miles a night, and then had no. He would just wake up exhausted, and he never knew. And then they caught him like running down the street.
Oh,
They
that's
showed, like, footage.
20 miles. That's great.
At
He's
night.
getting his exercise done. That's smart.
But he had to like put on his shoes, open the door, go outside, function, like not get hit by traffic. Like
Yeah, a lot of things.
it's just on autopilot.
That's nuts. I remember the one time you were in Cape Cod, you had that incident. I don't think I woke up for that though. I think you were just like holding something. You
Yeah,
thought
I
you
was
were holding
leaning
a
against
ship
the wall.
or
I thought I was holding up a boat.
a boat. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Kyle had dreams of a deer trampede because I guess somebody told me I was like running around the house.
That's crazy.
So my dream, or whatever it was, trying to save the world from this boat falling on it, impacted Kyle's dream because I was running around the house. So he dreamt of deer, a deer stampede.
Do you know every time somebody just mentioned Kyle, I just was talking to him about some.
He has 3 kids now.
First of all, he's hilarious. I told somebody about a friend of mine yesterday. We're talking about something, and like it reminded me of Fronte. It was something to do with like his environmental job. And
The
every
fish
time,
counter?
every time I explain somebody to him, they always laugh, and they've never met him, and they don't know what he looks like. They like don't even think. They're just like it's just so funny.
You
The
gotta tell 'em-
$38 Yoo-hoo.
You got to tell him the
Or-
story about the 3 of us were driving around, and Kyle was doing something illegal, smoking, and he kept on running red lights, and we were like, Kyle, you gotta stop running red lights. He goes, no. He goes, that's how I fit in. That's how you don't get pulled over. Because he goes, everybody else is running red lights.
It was almost like he
That's
wanted
Kyle.
to see if he can get out of it. I was like, dude, what are you doing? 19 years old. Yeah, like what the hell? The funny story, we walked in, was it me and you? We walked into the house and he's on the phone and he's like, so you're telling me I paid $38 for a Yoo-hoo? And we're like, what? He like used his debit card to buy a Yoo-hoo, was it?
He had $2 left in his bank
And he
account. The
over-
Yoo-hoo was $250.
And he overdrew
So he's
his
on the phone
account.
with the bank because it overdrew.
$35 charge plus the Yoo-hoos and the whole 38. That was great. And the story about his job. When he was like, says he like counts fish in like a lake. That's his job.
We asked him. We were like,
You
no,
asked
but
him.
Kyle. We were like, what does it say on your check? He goes, fish counter.
And I'm like, oh, all right. So that is actually his job.
But he even said, like, when he did that, like, he was not counting all the salmon passing by. He's like, there was thousands of salmon. He's like, sometimes I took a nap and then I woke up. Like, he wasn't always counting.
I never knew that part of the
Oh,
story. I'm so happy. Next person I tell, nobody
You
have the
think Kyle's going to sit for 8 straight hours?
No.
And just
I-
1,
I used to love.
2, 3.
I don't know.
What do you have, like a pitch
Right, there's no
counter?
camera.
Like a clicker?
He's at 100 pitches. We gotta get him out. He used to stand.
That's
like,
his break.
I used to know when he was leaving for like a weekend to like go to his girlfriend at the time, Kirsten, was it?
Kirsten.
Something like that. One of the Kirsten.
Oh,
And
maybe
then-
it was Kirsten. Yeah, you may be right.
And then I used to stand by the door, and I remember, and I had no problem with him not saying goodbye. I just remember he was gonna disappear for a few days, and he was debating whether to say goodbye to me, and then he would just leave. And then he'd be back like Monday.
I think he was really debating if he really wanted to go or not.
Oh, maybe I never
And
thought of it
and
that
I just
way.
think that he knew that he had to go, and he was like,
Now that
I'm
they
not
broke-
smart enough to get out of this.
Now that they broke up, maybe that was the reason. That's funny.
Yeah, man, he's got 3
Where's he
kids.
live,
He's like a
Utah?
dad. The last time I knew was Sacramento.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of like geology jobs out there. They were
Cool.
studying parts of California.
That's like
California's
not-
such a mess.
Yeah, it really
in so
is.
many ways.
Not far from San Fran, right? It's like an hour away. Sacramento.
You
I
think
think
you
that's
might be
the
right. Yeah,
airport. I think
because
that's the
went
airport
to
you're
see
flying
him because I had a job in San Francisco, so I drove up. It might be more than that, but it's driving. It's drivable, like not hard.
I know you like random stories. It's a
Yeah?
quick one. There was a guy the other night. I was pretty drunk. Me and this other comedian, and I don't know if you know Vincent. He's a French comic from the comics. He's not there a lot. Anyway, so he was out with
I don't
us.
know anybody French.
All right, so you definitely don't know him. He was talking to me, and it was really loud, and
His
I was
name
like
is Vincent.
really
is
drunk.
Vincent a French name?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would think it like more Italian, right?
Be like Vinois.
Yeah, maybe there's a different
You know, like
pronunciation. Vincent. Even his last name doesn't seem French.
Vinchoy.
Maybe it's all an act. I don't know. But he was like talking to me, and I was looking at him and laughing, and it wasn't a funny story, but I was just laughing, and I'm like, sometimes when I'm pretending to listen to people, I just make sure I have really good eye contact. And he started dying, and he's like, the funniest part is that you're telling me this. He's like, that's your strategy. Just don't tell me. He's like, I had no idea. I'm like, you got me. I was like, I want to be honest with you. I was just like making really good eye contact, and I was like, I have no idea what he's saying.
The
I'm, like,
worst
kinda
is when
drunk.
you get caught. Like,
Yeah.
if you're pretending to pay attention and you know it's like your turn to talk,
Yeah, you're like,
and you're like, yeah, and they're like, well, which one? and you're like,
well,
shit, this is not a yes or no.
That's bad. But on the flip, how great is it when like you throw something out and you're like, yeah, well, it's like so and so, right? And they're like, exactly. I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Well, it was always a great like. It was just be like, well, how did you feel about that? Like you can always ask like. There's ways to get out of that.
Yeah, I think slowing it down is the easiest way to go. You're like, well, listen, I mean, it's not going to be easy,
What my dad would do, because my dad pretends to listen to people all the time.
Yeah.
What he would do, he'd be like, he'd listen to you, like he'd give you that look, probably this with the eyebrows. He'd be like, and then you'd ask him a question and be like, well, listen, I don't mean to cut you off or anything, but I wanted to, and then he'll start talking about something completely different. But he'll like preface it with like I don't mean to like be rude. He intends to basically be rude.
Right.
But he's letting you know that he's not.
Letting you know that he's being rude.
So you think that he's not, but he is.
Your dad's very interesting.
Yeah, he changes it. Yeah, my dad was telling, like I told you, he was like, because my dad just came to the second, he's seen me twice. And he's a tough guy to please, but his only complaint was that I didn't talk enough about him. I was so surprised.
That is great.
He's like, you got to tell them about the pee-pee tree. And I was like, what pee-pee tree? He's like, I used to make you kids go outside and pee on a tree like you couldn't use the toilet. And I'm like, you think that's funny?
It's child abuse. They call that child abuse in 2019.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
We had to go pee on a specific tree.
That's really funny. Your dad's like, listen, about your stand-up, more about me. Which is interesting, because I thought he'd be mad about that stuff. But then he'd be like, that isn't true. Like, there's like 7 people that know that that's true.
So now what I told him, because he's like every time he's like, well, you should do this and this. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do the joke on? You telling me to do jokes.
Yes.
That's what it's going to become.
Yes.
It's not going to be about anything you want.
Right.
Like the joke is still going to be on you.
Let me tell you something. Been a comic for 7 years. Anytime somebody prefaces with, I got a joke for you, it's never been close to good.
You know what you should do?
Never been close to good.
Those are the worst ways. If you really want me to not listen to you, start a sentence with that. You know what you should do.
Right.
I guarantee I can't even understand what you might as
like
speak anything at that point.
It's like, hey, you're in the stocks, right? Yeah. I think you should sell Facebook. The fuck, like I don't know, like.
Well, it's like even like documentaries. So last night, Wendy was telling me a work story. Some crazy stuff is going on at her job, that I can't even talk about because it's probably disclosure stuff. But she was like, it's basically like a Seinfeld episode. I'm like, can everybody stop saying it's just an episode?
I know, right. Everybody.
You're not Elaine.
Right.
It's just an episode. It's just an ironic, crazy story.
That's funny, and it's just that usually they run on and on. And
but everybody said this could be a Seinfeld episode. No, it could just be an episode.
Or this could be on TV. Right.
But yeah, it was stuff was going down. That's crazy. Oh yeah, but no, that's what I was gonna say. When people say, I don't get it much anymore, but I used to get it a lot. When somebody used to say like, oh, you know what you should do a video on? You know what you should do a show on? You know what you should do a documentary on?
Yeah, that is like, but why? It's something with the creative field that allows that, because people always think.
Because anybody thinks they can do it.
I always wonder if musicians get that. Probably not. Like, yo, dude, you got to do a song about love, man.
No, actually, I bet you. No, but I bet you they get this. Be like, you know what that song needed was more drums.
Oh yeah,
more right, that's where the cowbell joke comes from.
More cowbell.
It's just some idiot
really
saying
funny.
like what we should have.
I wrote some. I know you would like this. Happy as a clam. Me and you have always discussed that. I mean, if you're gonna pick something that's happy, a clam. Like what? There's like me and you used to talk about this. I feel like in like college or high school.
Is happy as a clam really an expression?
Yeah, he's happy as a clam.
I can't even guess. Does a clam always look like it's smiling? Is that why? Where does that come from?
I don't know. No, that's one of those where I've thought about this. I haven't Googled it though. But like an oyster, maybe they're happy because they have a pearl. I don't know. And that would make more sense. But or maybe you're happy. Happy as a. There's a lot of things that could be happy. Is what I'm saying.
I just got happy as a dog. I've never seen a dog. I've seen one dog who's depressed. My sister's dog just always looks depressed. It's like your life is so easy. It could like
so good.
You can't exist without humans.
Right. Yeah.
They've made it perfect. You have a little bed, you have food, timed out,
and you can sleep really whenever you want.
There's no responsibilities. Why are you unhappy?
But they don't know that though, unless they see us and like, wow, this is a nightmare. Holy shit, poor guy. This guy, Jesus. The only thing he's got is the bathroom on his own. But I was always jealous of dogs. You know when like people, you ever like see somebody walking a dog and they're like,
You just fart?
No, I just moved the chair.
The chair.
I moved the chair. And they're like, what do they say? Like, oh, sorry, my dog just doesn't like other dogs. I've always been jealous of that. right? Like,
Why?
like if I'm like just being a dick, and it's like, ah, sorry, it's Frank. He just really doesn't like other people. You know, like we don't get to use that. Like dog, though, was, oh, sorry, he just doesn't like other dogs. Doesn't like other. That's his whole species. He doesn't like.
Or if they say, when people say, oh, don't worry, my dog only bites sometimes.
Oh my God. Yes.
What if this is the time? That's all that matters to me. The
Thank
one
you.
time.
That's really funny. He only bites sometimes. You're like, oh, this could be it.
This
It
could
only
be the
takes one.
sometime.
It only takes one. Also, like with like pit bulls, people with pit bulls, I feel like always say that. I know they're aggressive, but mine isn't. Well, guess what? Someone has an aggressive pit bull, and it's probably you. You know, it's like, come on, those things are. We should just do that. Let's just go over ridiculous. Are they like sayings? Like clean as a whistle? It must be the sound.
Yeah, but I told you I'm kind of pissed. That's what sucks about doing research sometimes, because the whole clean as a whistle is not a whistle
It's
that
the
you blow.
sound.
No, it's the whistle from the train. From
Oh,
the steam
the
engines.
sound.
Those are so clean.
Oh, those
From
are
steam
clean.
engines? Yeah, it's
Oh,
hot
steam.
air.
Damn it! Debunked it. Debunked it.
No,
right
that
away.
one makes sense.
That one does make sense. Happy as a clam.
But still, even with that, even if that makes sense, I something clean as a dinner plate, because I'm not going to eat out of a whistle on a train.
Yeah,
I'm going
that's
to
a
eat
good
off
point.
a dinner plate.
I could like use that as like a straw to a smoothie or something. Yeah. How about it's neither here nor there. And where is it? It's neither here nor there.
Yeah, why do people say that?
I don't know. There's a lot of dumb ones. Neither here nor there. Happy as a clam. There's a few other ones too. Man, I feel like me and you used to always go over these in like high school. Or
Well, there's the bull in a china shop.
that one always makes me laugh though, because I always just picture a
'Cause you
bull
picture it,
knocking everything
yeah.
down.
How did
Yeah.
you get in there?
Right. Like a bull in a china shop. Yeah, how did you get in there in the first place?
Why?
Why did you let him in?
And why did he get angry all of a sudden? He was standing in there, not breaking anything, and then all of a sudden he got in there.
And just ruined everything. That one I kind of like. It's a funny visual. You know what saying I love? Sorry. This is a little different. This is one I love because it just, when you're describing somebody who's just a total failure, couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I love that. I think that's so funny. I don't know why.
I like it. I can't.
Like that guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Like you're just such a bozo. Like you just can't do anything right. That's great.
I'm kind of over like cliche. I mean, all these lines. You know what kids are saying now? Oh man, we were doing this like documentary. The kids, they picked the topics. So 6 kids, and somehow we would decide to do a documentary on love. So they were interviewing each other, like dating. There was like, they were. I think I told you this last time. There was Amir and Jamira, and they were together.
You did tell me that.
So, but she was like, I was like, so what do you like about Amir? I think that Amir was his name. Jamira was her name. Yeah. And she goes, well, you know, he's good looking and all that, and he's got a good personality. Like that's valid. So they love saying valid.
Oh, I don't like that. Just like facts. I hate that.
Facts.
I hate
That's
that.
the other one. That's what I was
Facts.
gonna say too.
I'm like, yeah, that's why I said it. It's a fact.
I started saying it though. To be honest.
You have. It's not
like
the
if
worst.
Wendy says something to her son, and then he gives that look, I'll be like, facts.
Well, because you're gonna connect with him though, so that's not terrible. You're trying to connect with the kid.
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad. That's not the worst one. I don't like the
He was funny.
YOLO.
Hold on.
Oh,
YOLO.
That's terrible. Yeah.
You only live once, but like every day.
Yeah. Which is why you should not drink.
That's why I have that joke.
Oh yeah, that's right. Don't.
I'm not gonna live every day like it's
my
my last. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
live
that's
every day like I got another 50 years to live, because that's what makes the most sense.
right. I want to be safe.
No, Steven, the Wendy's son. What did he say recently? What was I just gonna say? Oh, he goes, because this last Christmas was like the last. Somebody told him Santa wasn't real,
Ooh.
so he's like, I knew that, and he's
Yeah.
like, but what about Buddy the elf? He named his elf Buddy, and we were like, nah, he's fake too. He's like, yeah, I knew that. I thought.
Yeah, right. He's like holding on to
So.
something.
So last week he was like, so what about the Easter Bunny? And we were like, I want to be like, dude, they're all fake.
Right.
Everything in your
I
life
think the bunny's real.
is fake.
That's really fun. Everything's fake. Oh, how did he handle it?
He's
Poor
okay with
fella,
it,
he's
yeah.
okay.
But he hasn't asked about the tooth fairy yet. The tooth fairy lasts a lot longer because the teeth start falling out
That's
around
true.
his age.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that going for a couple of years.
Well, plus if you know it's fake, you're not gonna say anything. You're getting money under your pillow, aren't you?
Yeah, he gets so much.
Yeah, you
It's
get
like
money.
he
Be
gets
like,
like
yeah,
$5
yeah,
bills.
no.
I was getting like pennies.
Oh, hold
Dude,
on.
I can
Just
still
pull my own tooth.
remember when my dad. I mean, obviously, I'm like talking about this a long time ago, but like my dad used to make me shine his shoes. And
Really?
he used to pay me 25 cents.
And he made you pee outside. I
And
mean,
I had to pee
somebody
outside.
should have been called.
Yes, but 25 cents a pair.
Really?
Yeah, it took me like an hour a pair.
An hour a pair?
He had to inspect them.
Oh my god.
So he'd show you how to do it, and then you'd go into your room and work on it. And then when you thought you were done, you'd bring the shoe to him, for approval, and then you can go on to the next one. But every time he was like, you gotta get that spot.
Like
you gotta shine hider.
You had like a
the shoe shine
brush, and that's great.
Yeah, you had the bristle brush to get off like initially, and then you have like the.
Turns out your dad is a genius. He was like, he knew that this was about to end. This whole like, you can't do that anymore. Like if you did that today, can't do that. He makes him what? Oh, that's good for him. He was getting as much out of you as he could.
We were looking at pictures of the old house for some reason. I was going through. He showed me a picture of him as a kid, and then he has like this photo album. He was taking pictures of the Mayapack house. So I was looking at it with Wendy on his iPad, and I just started going, yeah, you see this? I was like, I built that. And then it was like me and Eddie working on the deck. I'm like, yeah, we built that. And I was like, the wall, you see the walkway? I was like, the siding on the house, the painting of the garage, the wall for the pool. It was like everything. We were like, I was like, we basically built most of that place.
That was really funny. Yeah, like he did.
That's why I know how to do. Like when I did that,
I'm gonna say that's exactly what
it paid off, because I do know how.
He literally thinks he built that. That's funny, and you guys did it.
Oh, he's like super. Every picture, it's me and my brothers working on it, and my dad standing there.
But Sunday used to save you, right? Because like Giants were on at 1.
Prayed for a 1 o'clock.
What happens if they're on a
4 o'clock game? You were working till 2,
and then you just have school the next day, and it's just like a night.
Yeah, the Sunday dinner saves you too, because 2 o'clock Sunday dinner.
Right.
So yard work on Sundays was done at 1:30, but you were up outside at 7:30.
Oh, that's rough. And if I know, and I know you weren't in bed early Saturday. You were out there gallivanting, gallivanting on the town. You're teenagers.
Not when I was 12. I mean,
no, I mean like 18, like when you were like a senior.
Yeah, but I wasn't really doing yard work anymore at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you got as much out of it as you could.
No, yard work is really happening up until like chores, like every Saturday, Sunday. That probably ended around 16.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was longer. That's good.
No, I sort of was allowed to have a life. I mean, there was like, no, you're right, 17 maybe. It was junior and senior year. Senior year, they really loosened up. Like once I actually hit 18, everything loosened up. There was like, it went from you have every rule possible to you just turn 18 that you really don't have any rules now. Yeah.
Interesting.
What are you thinking about?
I'm trying to think about what to talk about. I don't want to bore these people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, just I had something else and I think I lost it.
No, I can just talk.
I was like, I lost it.
I thought you were actually like thinking something.
I was trying to add.
Sometimes I like the random thoughts that go through your head.
Thank you. It's very random.
No, so the other thing I have, because I still have stuff on here that I want to talk about.
Nice. I have a list, but I think I'm kind of over it.
So one of just a thought that went through my head, because I noticed this like as I'm going through. This is kind of like advice. I think this is going to be advice for like unsolicited advice for other people. But I've noticed that as I'm doing more, like more people know who I am. Like it's so weird. Like the other day, we just got a call. So people are starting to call us for work. Like, hey, can you film this? And how much is it? Instead of like trying to sell. So every time that happens, I look at Natalie and I'm like if we did like easy clothes, I'd be like, oh my God, we have like a real business. Like it still like hasn't set in. I've been doing this for 10 years. It still hasn't like set in.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I was saying like more people get to know me, and as like my exposure of who I am and what I do gets more and more people know me, the circle of people I keep close to me gets smaller.
Oh, I like that though. Yeah, because you can read
like I'm much more protective of who I let around.
Yeah, because there's more people coming in.
Yeah,
a lot of people coming in. It's uncomfortable. We're kind of the same way with that. It's uncomfortable for me too.
Because everybody looks like a friend at first. They come up, they smile, and I'm not saying like people are out there to screw me over. I'm just saying like it's so important that like.
Just like what's your agenda?
It's really only a couple of people that I give, like not even a lot of time, but that's just I'm open with.
Yeah.
And that I trust.
Right. And me and you have been always like that. Like even if we don't talk for a few months, it'd be like you would answer the phone and be like, yeah, you're probably the only person I'd answer for right now. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not asking anything from you. Just looking at bullshit. I feel like that's true with comedy too. Like you meet so many people, and I'll be honest, like most of the people I meet in comedy, like I feel like are good people. Like it's funny, you wouldn't think that. You think, oh, they're comic, but like most of them, you take a 3-hour road trip with somebody and you can kind of learn a lot about him. You could, and he was awesome, dude. He was just like a good guy, down to earth, funny as hell. And my stepdad and mom came to one of the Atlantic City shows because they're in Jersey, and my mom was like, oh my God, it was great, and it was a great show. Like I was no doubt that I did great, and it was felt good. And when my stepdad,
it was like 15,
did 20. So it was like 20 minutes, and he did like 40. So my stepdad was like, yeah, he was like, that was a good job. He's like, I want to buy the other guy's album. It was so funny. I was like, he's like, yeah, you were good. Is the other guy around? I'm gonna go buy his album. I was like, yeah, I think it's out there. He's out selling them.
When your mom's in the audience, do you still do the telephone joke?
It was so much fun to do. So
she's never seen it?
She's seen it twice. The second time was like a few weeks ago when I was in AC. So I was doing it, and I was like, it's weird doing this joke with you in the crowd. And then, of course, my mom starts whistling. Like she was at a baseball game. And I was like, Mom, stop fucking whistling. And
no, that's great, because anything she does,
then
you
it's
just make fun of her. Yeah.
Improv.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have to do that. And it was like kind of fun. And then like even a couple people after was like, was that really your mom? So it was just like a kind of a cool thing to add. And it's always a good feeling there when you kind of turn. There's, wait staff there. You could see them laughing. That's the best feeling ever.
Because they've heard
so many jokes. They don't care.
Every style, almost every joke.
And they don't care because they have like a long night ahead of them, because that's a nightclub after that turns into.
And they're just there to work. They're not there to.
They're just there to work.
To laugh.
So like that's like their slow time. So they're just kind of chilling at the bar. They're like hanging out, and like he's like, all right, cool, it's going well. But yeah, those are fun shows.
Yeah, it was weird to do the last. When we did that show at the Freight House, my parents were there.
That's right. They were right in the front.
My aunt was there. She didn't know where. They didn't tell her where she was going. They just brought her. That's like that'd be so awkward for her. And then like two of my older cousins were there. But so like, I'm so glad that I did a penis joke in front of my mom.
That's
and
hilarious.
it was like fine. Like it's not a big deal.
No, it's weird at first, but like you just get desensitized to doing like jokes in front of your mom, like dating and sex.
Can't wait until I get to do the joke about being arrested for prostitution.
And that got a huge laugh.
What,
the penis transplant
penis
joke that night.
Yeah, that's I'm on a limb, because that's like, it's okay. Another guy got a penis. Does that make you gay? That's not the joke yet, but it's thought provoking.
Yeah,
so that's
right,
weird. So I got to let that sit for a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And then say, if I ever got a penis transplant, I'd also get a hand transplant.
Yeah,
and that's
funny.
supposed to be the laugh. And then but that's almost like, oh, and then you it's like that's a different kind of laugh and a different kind of joke than anything else I have.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's totally different.
Because you don't know where I'm going with that. You probably think I'm just going to do like a dirty joke. It's not a dirty joke.
It's not, but if you're
I
not
am
listening,
talking about a penis.
But it's not dirty.
It's not.
Right. And
besides the word penis.
Funny
it's
though,
not a dirty joke.
because when you did that joke, I remember going, "Oh man,
You're
I
like,
don't know where this is gonna go." And then you got to laugh, and I was like, "So they don't want crowd work. They don't want observational jokes. They want dirty jokes sometimes." Because I did a porn joke that didn't go over that well, and mine is not dirty either. It's just weird me talking about porn. The one where I talk about I've been watching porn for so long that I watched the porn star mature from the hot teen category to the hot MILF category, and that didn't do that well. But I don't care. That's a funny observation.
The older people might need more.
Yeah,
setup
they need a little more
for just a category, like, because I don't think they realize where porn is at now. Joe Rogan said something so hilarious the other day. I think it wasn't to Russell Brand, it was somebody else, but he goes, it's so crazy how much porn is out there. He goes, if they stopped making porn today, there's still enough for like forever.
Forever. Oh my
Like,
God,
you
that's such a
can't-
good point.
You actually can't watch it all.
Look at
but
one
he goes,
actress.
they're still making more.
Right, they're still doing it. Like, think about one actress. She might have 1,000 videos. That's one, and that's true. Yeah, they could just stop now, and they're still making more with the same 5 premises.
And it's free.
And it's free. That's interesting too. Remember how hard it was to watch porn when we were younger? It's like, all right, it's raining. I think we'll get channel 96 tonight. Like,
I remember pulling
this is still empty.
the Playboy out of Joe Doyle's mattress, and me and him walked into the woods, like 7 miles into the woods, to not get caught. And then he put it back under his bed, and his mom cleaned his room that night.
Found it immediately. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Playboy in the Woods was very upstate.
Go if you want to refill it.
No, I'm good.
You need more coffee?
It's just like a habit. No, it actually was water.
Oh, it was water.
I've been going heavy on the fluids, And at my age, Jeff, I'd be running to the bathroom all day. It's
Dude,
true.
I'll tell you, the difference maker is, so like, I slacked off a little bit health-wise. I feel like I don't have the definition that I had. So, but I'm doing like my diet again, and I'm on like day 3. Dude, the thing that helps out so much is just drinking water.
I know.
All day.
All day.
Starting in the morning.
I know.
Like
My
away.
My mom's been doing that too.
You're gonna have to pee a lot, and that's like the biggest
It's
complaint
worth it,
about
though.
that, but you're not gonna be as hungry, and you're just gonna feel better.
It's true.
You need that.
Flush out, and it's so good for you. I know. I've been doing the water with lemon. It's a good little touch for the flush out. It's funny too. I told you I was doing the intermittent fasting. I do it intermittently, but it's so funny.
You
like
intermittently
I
do
intermittently do intermittent fasting. That's interesting.
Do like once a year.
Yeah, just once a year. Just don't eat, and then you'll clear out. But no, it's like you basically are in a way skipping breakfast. Like that's kind of all the fast is. Because if I stop eating at 8 p.m.
You actually pick which time you want to do.
Yeah, you do. So for me, it works out better if I stop by 8 p.m. or actually during the week I do 7 p.m. and then 11 a.m. I eat, so that's 16 hours. So it's basically like I just skip breakfast. So my mom was wrong this whole time. Remember? She was like, you can't skip breakfast. Everybody's mom. But like, no, it turns out it's the healthiest I've been. Flushes my whole body out. Liver's good.
Well, even, you know, the word breakfast, the first thing to do is see how you act and just judge you.
And another thing, too, is like for my purpose, like I don't want to burn through like first date conversation, you know?
What can you say? She's working.
Right, exactly. It'd be pretty funny if she was like, hey, you have any brothers or sisters? I'm like, hold that thought till next week when we meet.
It's a win. Like, because that's I remember, I mean, this will never happen again. Well, obviously because I'm engaged, but it just doesn't ever happen. But I remember when I was my first year in Kentucky in college. My first year was my only year because I got kicked out. But we went to, it was like a part of initiation because I joined a fraternity, and we went to a strip club. And the stripper gave me her number and was like, she's like, meet me here at like 2. And she's like, I'll come and hang out with you guys. That never happens. Like,
no.
That's never going to happen again.
I think.
And then they just disappear. They're like Batman. They're like gone.
There was a guy in the bachelor party I went to in Nashville. Like, all he was doing was like talking about his life. I feel like he like thought it was like his therapy. The poor stripper. I actually felt bad for her. I was like, oh God, this guy's got a series of issues.
So one of the other things I want to talk about, just because I need to talk about it with somebody.
Yeah.
The Mueller report.
Yeah. I don't really know what essentially came out of that. Like, Trump is okay. He's off the hook. There's nothing. He's off the hook, but he's not. One of those. But didn't stuff come out about Obama as well?
Yeah, I'll answer. I read half of the report, and I follow it.
You
like
know, I am with politics.
Yeah. No, that's why I thought it'd be good, because I was wondering, like, you'll probably get into conversation with people about it, and everybody's like misinformed about it. That's why I actually like read the report.
I'm definitely misinformed. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, what do you?
Well, Denzel Washington says the great thing. He goes, if you don't watch the news or read the news, he goes, you're uninformed. He goes, if you do watch or read the news, you're misinformed. So he's like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. No, so I mean, the short of it, the way I interpret it, like, any sort of collusion, any sort of anybody's intent to conspire from Trump or his administration, it just wasn't there. Okay. That definitely did not happen. Like, you can't even argue that. You know, when you look at how much money they spent on the investigation, it was $30 million. They had, they subpoenaed 500 people, like, for interviews. They went through like 30,000 texts and emails and all that stuff. I think there was something like 20 private investigators, 1,000 FBI. It was just a massive investigation. So either you're gonna find something or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be like, oh well, they almost found it, but they couldn't really.
Right. No, they would have got it.
It wasn't enough there.
Yeah.
Dude, if the FBI investigated a president conspiring to, they would have been like, dude, this guy's working for Russia. We need to get him out. They wouldn't be like, well,
right,
you know.
right.
So,
would have been cut and clear.
But that's just one part of it. So the collusion is definitely like nothing wrong. The part where it gets tricky is the obstruction of justice.
Okay.
But then, like, what I ask lawyers is, does obstruction of justice, is that even possible if there's no, like, if you were innocent, can you still obstruct justice?
Well, what was the obstruction of justice for exactly? Like, for?
It's interpretation. So what he definitely, so here's where I have to split it up, because he definitely told people to lie.
Okay.
But now that's where it gets, there's like nuance in that, because he only told his advisors, close people to him, he told them to lie, but he told them to lie to the press.
Okay.
Or to like people. That is like wrong. It's obviously wrong to lie. It's bad. It's immoral on a lot of levels. It's not illegal.
Right.
You can lie to the press all you want.
Right. It's not.
If the FBI came and knocked on your door and you were under oath and somebody told you to lie to them, that's definitely obstruction of justice.
Okay.
He didn't do that. There's no proof of that. Maybe he did, but there's no proof of it. So it's just like weird how it's still like, I'm surprised it's still talked about this much.
Yeah, and it happened, what, a week and a half ago?
It came out, well, and there's going to be more. No, it came out, maybe right. It was like a week and a half ago. But, you know, then Mueller is going to testify. Barr is going to testify. So it's like they're going to talk about it. Not a lot of bad stuff happened. So basically what would happen, like one of the examples is, so there was this guy, I can never say his name, Papalopoulos.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've heard that.
So he's like this young guy. So he was like one of their advisors, like in the administration. So, like, this is what happened with him. This is the short of it. He went to Russia, spoke to somebody over there, and maybe they were in the government, maybe they weren't. Oligarchs call 'em with like if they're like report to technically like Russian government.
Okay.
So he spoke to somebody there, and then he came back and he said to like Trump and the staff, like the vice president was there. He was like, "Listen, we can do this. They want to negotiate this. It might have been like about Croatia or something like that, but they were like, if we do this, they'll do this, and I already worked it out. Like it's all good."
Oh.
So they looked at him and they were like, "First of all, nobody told you to talk to the Russians, and you don't have authority to do anything. So stop talking to them." So Papalopoulos goes back over to Russia and he's like, "Hey, so let's work this out, this, that." And he comes back and they're like, "We told you not to do it," and they fired him. So that's like one thing that happened. So we're like, that's what I mean. Like, it's so hard to understand what's going on for a lot of people, but like, there were connections made,
Right.
but it went like a little far, and then they were like, "No, stop doing that. That's stupid." Same thing with Trump Jr. He met with this that Russian lawyer. She wasn't really part of the government. She wasn't really a spy, but she was said, I have the dirt on Clinton." So Trump Jr. was like, "Great, let me see it." So they set up a meeting,
Oh.
and she came there and didn't have anything. So he was like, "You just wasted my time. I'll see you later." She tried to contact Trump Jr. like multiple times, and basically the response was like, "You didn't have anything, so we don't need to talk
Yeah.
anymore." So that's like something else that like where they say like, "Oh, they were working with the Russians." They took a meeting and then realized it was stupid and told them not to talk. Now, on the flip side of that, this is not even, again, this is not something that's controversial. Hillary Clinton and her administration paid for information from Ukraine.
Okay.
They had Ukraine government being like, "We have some stuff on Trump." They definitely paid for it. So if I'm always big on like so if you go after Trump and say, "Okay, he spoke to the Russians, that's bad. We should like investigate him, put him in trouble." You have to do the same thing to Clinton.
Right. Right.
That's it. I mean, that's all. That's all.
It's
Like
fair.
like all I believe about it. Trump is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's an idiot,
He's a maniac.
but he's not a criminal.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think just an idiot.
They just can't prove anything criminal, and you can't impeach a president for being stupid.
Right. I mean,
He has
impeach
to
a
do
lot of guys.
something illegal.
Right.
Right? They would impeach a lot of guys.
A lot of guys would be out. No offense, but President Bush. I mean, okay. I don't know.
But I mean, you think about it, like when we were, because that was our first year of college when 9/11
Yeah.
happened. Bush was just in. Dude, and YouTube was like a new thing. Every video that I watched after that was Bush is working with Saudis. He
Yeah.
set it up, and we bought that like
Yeah,
hook, line, and sinker.
it's
Like we
true.
were believing it at the
Yeah.
time. And then you look back farther, and
Conspiracy
you're
stuff.
like, man, maybe there was more to it. I don't really know. But it's like, how many times are we gonna go through this?
Yeah.
Like Clinton, there was a conspiracy. Bush, there was. Obama had plenty of
Like a tabloid or something about
they're just like, what was Obama's administration doing this whole time? Because there's a division of the Russian military which is called GRU. They're the hacking
that.
division.
Oh, okay.
So they were definitely infiltrating. Sent Russians here. They were living here. They set up Facebook accounts. They set up fake political dude. They set up a Trump rally.
Oh, shit.
Like
I know
with
that.
yeah, so they were doing stuff, but like, here's some money, buy some signs, and go do this, and here's the talking points. Like there
Huh.
was Russian military doing that in America.
Wow.
So some of what people are talking about, and it's not going to get a lot of traction, but it's like, so where was the Obama in protecting our election
Right. Right.
for 4 years? Like it was 4 years of this going on before Trump was president. And 2000 Russia is not an enemy. So he downplayed a lot of stuff, and then it comes up now Russians are number one enemy. How did that happen in 6 years?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if that's specifically what you heard, but that's something. It's just like, or even like when Obama had the hot mic, so he was meeting with Putin, and he leaned over to Putin and said, "Hey, once I get reelected, I'll have a lot more flexibility." Nobody was supposed to record. Nobody was supposed to hear that, but they
shit.
caught him on a hot mic. I'll show that to you after.
I'll have a lot more flexibility.
So I mean, if you really want to go after somebody for collusion, can't you say that? I mean, not you have that on microphone, being like,
Right.
"Dude, I'm gonna work with you," wink, wink. After I get reelected,
Oh, that's crazy.
that's just as bad as anything else. But that's not even the scandals that I'm talking about.
right. Right.
The worst things they did, we definitely protected him, and they protected each other. But they sent like, I forget how many. It was like 20,000 AKs down to like Mexico or something like that. And somebody was gonna sell it. I don't know if it was CIA or FBI, but they were gonna sell it to but they were marked so they could track them and then
Okay.
see who they got sold to and then catch them. It was kind of a
Oh.
good idea.
Good idea.
But what happened was they lost like the tracking info or something like that,
So
and
they
then
just
the
gave
guns got
guns.
sold and they got moved around. And I think they
had no
said
idea.
like 300 up to 300 people were killed with those guns.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's a really bad. That's like that to me. That's that. I don't want to say it's a scandal, but like you messed up.
Yeah,
like you should be
big
held
time.
accountable for that. And
Like
some of
you're
those people
trying
were
to
American
track 'em.
citizens.
Right, and the fucking tracking device doesn't work.
48.
448.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Dude, it's like it's
It was like
not
200
hard to
people.
read.
Yeah.
And even the part like so there was an interesting part where the day that they announced the special was like going to do an investigation at the time. Down, he said, "That's it. Like I'm fucked. My presidency's over."
Oh,
So now the press ran with that and was like, "Oh my God, that's an admission of guilt." But the next line he said was, "Everybody tells me when you have a special counsel investigate your presidency, you can't get anything done." So what? If you want to read into that more, you can look at it two ways. You can be like, "I'm in trouble. They're gonna catch me for being guilty," or you can be like,
"It's gonna handcuff me."
I wanted to do some stuff and now I can't.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. You can't. Right.
So
it's
again, that's
not-
the nuance of it.
that's not admission.
But
of guilt.
like when
it's
they
just-
paraphrase it
Sure.
and they present it.
Oh my god. I mean, you see that every day. You see that all the time in the news. You know what I mean?
Because I hate feeling the thing that I hate feeling like is like a Trump defender sometimes, but it's just like just know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
you're being misled by just little things, and
I mean, especially headlines are the worst with that. And people would just read headlines and be like, Trump
I do it all the time.
Trump murders Russian whatever, and you're like, wow, Trump's a murderer, shit, man. And you don't read it or something.
Well, so this happened to Howard Stern sort of recently. He was talking about Heather Locklear,
Oh yeah.
and she was married to or dating the guy from Motley Crue.
Yeah, it's funny. I just watched that movie, The Dirt, on Netflix, the documentary. Well, not
Who's
documentary.
the
it's a movie.
Motley Crue guy?
Tommy Lee Jones.
So Tommy Lee Jones, and then she married another guy who has like at least a 9-inch penis. So Howard's, and I guess she had like a mental breakdown or something, or she was battling through depression. He was like commenting on news, so he was like kind of joking around, being on the spot, kind of like how we are now. So he said something like, you know, that's why she's crazy, and that's why she's so messed up, because she was taking two like of the largest penises for like 20 years. Maybe a little crazy. It's a joke, right?
Right.
So in one of the news, and it wasn't a major news source. I don't know if it was like BuzzFeed or something like that. Line read, "Tommy Lee Jones ruins Heather Locklear's life."
Oh my god.
So he didn't read the article. So like he called up Howard Stern and was like, "Dude, how could you say that sort of
I mean,
thing?"
like, he
And,
didn't-
and then
and it was
Howard
just
had to explain
misinformation.
like that wasn't what I
Playing the
said,
clip. Yeah.
and they left out the clip.
Always. Yeah, that always happens just to get headlines.
Yeah.
They even do that with sports stuff. Like you'll read a headline and it's like they'll use like a guy's last name who's like a last name of a more famous player or something. They'll be like Andahar out for a year, and you're like, oh my god. And it's like Felipe Andahar and the Twins, and you're like, motherfucker, come on, it's not Miguel. I don't want to hear about that. But yeah, that's just, I don't know, man. That's why when people are like, oh, what like political party? I'm like, the indifferent party. I'm just indifferent to everything that's
I
political.
still love Paul Verzi's joke. He goes, "I'm not a Republican or a Democrat because I'm rational." Is that what he said? Or he said no because I'm reasonable.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah. It was like a perfect crowd to say it to.
He's doing a comedy festival. They're doing like a big comedy festival in Fairfield, Connecticut, and he's one of the headliners. Paul Verzi and Matt Richards.
So it's so weird because I saw the show. I was at the show that Paul Verzi filmed for his Netflix
Burr,
special.
Oh, okay.
And then so that show was amazing. And then I watched the Netflix special and I was like, I don't know.
Interesting how that happens, right?
I don't know if it's because I was there and like, you know, in the audience is different, or if it was the way that the sound was, the way it was edited. I don't know if they.
Yeah.
Because you know, like some in. By the way, did you see Sasha's special? Did he film that?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
What is it? What is he doing? Because I'm
I
curious
don't think
about
it's done yet. I don't know what the hell's going on.
when somebody like that does a special, because there's no outlet for it, right?
Yeah, maybe he's trying to sell. I'm not sure because I feel like he would have sent it to us if it was completed. I just saw him Saturday. I should have asked him. Yeah, I don't know where he's at with that.
Because I want to see what's up with that. Because it's like I don't know. I don't think comics should. I mean, unless he has the money to like to throw away.
Well, he has.
I don't want to say throw away, but he might be. It's like that's a chance.
And he's reasonable. He's kind of like, yeah, I basically just spent all this money just to put on YouTube, you know. But
yeah, that's tough, man. Because it might have been like 15 grand, 20 grand.
Some of those jokes though, I thought it was great. I thought it was such a great special. Yeah, and like he kept. And he was, it was funny because I was like talking to him before, and and I could tell he was a little nervous. And it's not like Sasha to be nervous, you know. And he's like, "What's the matter, man? Like worried like you're not gonna like remember the jokes?" And he was like, "No, it's just hard to be interesting for an hour." I'm like, "Fuck, that's true, man." And he's like, "It's hard to like not go to the crowd or like that."
But
and
in
it's
that
true.
show, I mean, all the people that are going to be there are going to be fans of his,
But
right?
he meant like interesting to the viewer, like once you produce a DVD. I think he meant,
That's why I would almost tell. Should he put the whole thing out or put it like break it down?
so as my
I'm gonna
next
have to
point.
pee.
Do you know? Me too. So do you know Andrew Schultz?
I go first?
He was on. Yeah, he was on the Joe
Should I go right
Rogan.
now?
Oh yeah, go right now.
Ye-
Go now. I could talk about this. So Andrew Schultz, New York comedian. He's fucking hilarious. He's one of those guys that like, I've watched him at the comic strip a few times. He could do like crowd work and crush. He's such a smart writer. He's just an awesome comic. So he said, I think he released an album, and he kind of did the I guess he kind of called it like the music theory or music system, whatever it was. But where he released his special, and he did like he released it in like 5-minute segments, and I think he said it got like I don't know how many views, but it did like phenomenal. And it's like such a good idea. And he's like, yeah, it's hard to like for people to watch an hour, but he's like, what's interesting was people will watch like 10 5-minute clips, but like a 50-minute clip they'll be like, it's too much. But I get it, you don't want to like commit to something. So I think he released his special with like by his jokes. Like I think he released it, 5 minutes, maybe it was dating or whatever it was, but I thought that was so interesting and something to think about for sure, because that's such a smart that's just a smart strategy. I was talking about this comic Andrew Schultz. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast not long ago. He's a New York comic, and I was just telling our 3 listeners, no, but like he just released his special on like 5-minute segments, like 10 5-minute segments, and he's like, dude, he's like, I've never gotten more views on anything. And he's like, what people would do, because you could see where people are bailing on the video, and he's like, people were watching the 5-minute clips and then they end up watching the whole special. He's like, it was almost like if you give them like options. So I was just talking about like how I thought that's kind of genius.
Maybe Sasha should like split have the whole thing up there.
Right. He has a joke.
But here's the thing. It's like, I mean, this is true. This is what I talk about people. If we're filming something, or even for this, it's like, what is your goal? What do you ultimately want from this?
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Are you trying to get discovered? Is this a
Are you
real
trying to make money? Like
yeah. Are you like?
He's going for discovered because he has a niche that he could really get. So I think for him it was about that. Yeah, I don't think he's really looking money. Like I don't think he cares.
Because YouTube views, you don't make money off of that.
Right. Yeah, you want it to be picked up, somebody to buy it.
You have to squash that early with some people. Like, just don't plan on making money off of YouTube. If you can get somebody to go someplace else, like if he was gonna show 5-minute like bits and then have a place where people could buy the whole thing, maybe. Then it becomes like a real job. Like
it's a lot.
You're marketing and selling.
Yeah, it's hard to do all that, to do the jokes, to do the performing, to pay for the editing and then be the marketer.
That's why I know if somebody came to me and said, "This is what I want to do," it's like 20 to 25 grand.
Oh yeah.
To do it.
Oh, I bet. So to do like a comedy
to film
special.
it and edit it. Yeah.
Oh, I figured. Yeah.
And that's not, I don't know how the venue. You got to work out the venue because that's a separate cost. But just for the production, editing of it,
I imagine. Yeah.
If he spent less than 20 or 25 grand.
No, I think that's about. I think that's about right. Yeah. I think it was in between 20 and 30. I think. But you could just use your iPhone too, right? I love when people say that. I think I told you some comic was like, I'm just gonna use my iPhone when we're supposed to do a project, and you're like, oh, just tell them they just put a dagger through my heart. Thank you.
I had this conversation just a week ago today, and a really good guy, but I'm actually glad that we talked him out of doing this. But he had an idea and he wanted to do it, and then we told him how much it was, and he like freaked out. He's like, oh my God. He goes, I was only expecting to spend this much. So the next line he says, and I don't know if he was saying it as like a real thought or if he was trying to like negotiate with me.
Okay.
But he goes, you know what? Maybe I'll just do it on my cell phone.
Oh, man.
And I said to him, I go, that is a great idea. I was like, you should do that. I was like, for this video, you should just make this on your iPhone and do it. And then there was silence. I don't think he was expecting me to say that.
Right.
But in that regard, what he was doing,
I think I know what he was doing too. Yeah.
For what he was doing, that's like one you can pull off on your iPhone actually. That's actually okay.
Okay.
Because it would have been like, oh, he's just trying to be funny. If you like,
he was probably trolling though. To be like, oh,
but
yeah,
if you do like a fully produced video trying to be funny and then it's not, then it just looks bad. But at least if you did like this not hacky, but gimmicky sort of like, oh, I'll just do it on my iPhone and my kids will be in it, you're going to be forgiven because then it's just like a cute Facebook video.
Right.
It's not like, oh, he put a lot of time and thought into this. It's like, oh, this is like funny.
You're not going to film a comedy special with a fucking phone. It's like, well, that's what's good too. I mean, you must like the point where you're at now with the business where you could like pick and choose like what projects you want, right?
I'm honest with people. I don't need to take the money.
Like I don't want to do that.
I don't. No, there's sometimes I don't want to do it. And also just coming in at the price that really I know that it needs to be.
Right.
In the past, I would have done. If somebody was like, "Listen, I only have $100," I'd be like, "All right." Now it's like, I'm running a real business. I have a family. That's what I was telling you on the phone the other day. It's like I have a family now.
Yeah, it's a lot different, right? You don't want to waste your time with stuff. This is gonna be my bathroom break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was holding out.
Yeah, 10% on that phone. The YouTube got split into 2 parts, but that'll be okay. No, it just the Mevo died. Yeah. So the other thing I'm gonna talk about with Frank once he gets back is I think actually me and Frank might be done. I was enjoying this Mevo action. So for the last thing I'm going to talk about with Frank, and this will be good for any of like the middle school students that I teach, because I think what I started talking about with Frank in the beginning of this was basically what his motivation is, and like what he's passionate about. And I feel like for a lot of people, what happens, as I was talking to my friend Auda earlier, was a lot of times the only reason people don't do anything is because they lack a passion for something or feeling like they have a purpose to do something. So I think like with Frank, if he was just a gym teacher, he might be like seriously miserable. But whereas, he has a unique talent in making people laugh, but talking about the darker side of life situations, but making people laugh. So when I talk about your struggle is the gift, I mean, Frank is such a great example of it in a light way. Frank takes his dating horror stories and, makes light of it and makes other people laugh. So that's taking the struggle and making a gift. And now it becomes his passion. Like Frank has done, I don't know, I bet you Frank has done over 50 shows this year. You think about, I knew him in the beginning 7 years ago. The first year he did it, he might have had 2 shows, and now he's 50 shows, and it's only April. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. But that's just taking, the thing that me and Frank used to talk about was, as we were approaching 30, it's like, dude, like everybody tells us we're really funny. So especially Frank, it's like, are you going to, like, what do you want for your life? Are you going to be okay with looking back and when you're in your 50s or 60s and being like, oh man, I should have been a comic, I should have tried to do it, and not knowing? Or would you rather do it and fail, at least knowing you did it, but in Frank's case did it and is actually succeeding? So Frank is actually a pretty cool inspiration story. I thought all that time was going to film before Frank got back from the bathroom, so I don't know what he's doing now, but I think that's something that's really impressive. Frank, you think you've done 50 shows this year? This year? Yeah, so far. You think you're almost at 50? 30? 40? So one of the things I was saying was just tying it in, because I don't know if we might be done or not. I feel like your phone's getting a lot of text, and once your phone starts getting a lot of text, I can't talk to you anymore. No. And then the Mevo's going to die. Not the Mevo, no, my phone's going to die soon.
I've been actively trying not to be on the phone as much. It's hard.
But what I was saying was, because I was thinking about, so I have like 140 subscribers now on YouTube.
Oh,
so
nice.
like the last talk I did was at the Rye Middle School, and I think when I walked in there, I had like 60 or 50. So like there's 100 from them.
That one, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I did 3 talks total there, but like every time, like a couple more kids followed me. And then like I'm kind of like I got like a standing ovation when I walked, like 1,000 awesome. Kids. I should have talked about that presentation that I did. That was in front of like 1,000 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
That's tough. That's a tough crowd.
But one of the things I was talking to them about was passion. And I related it to you because I was thinking if you were just a gym teacher, you would be so miserable.
Miserable. Totally miserable.
But even so, what you take some miserable stories from your life, make light of them, make other people laugh, and it makes you happier.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm going to go dirty here, but it's like, all right, I could talk about, I hooked up with a girl a few weeks ago that was hot. Nobody wants to hear about that. You want to hear about that? No. Yeah. On stage? On stage, I mean. They want to hear about the miserable stuff when I got, stood up and the girl, that's what we have to talk about. So it's like kind of, in a way, I don't want to use the word loser, but you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, man, it's so fun to think about all the time. I would be miserable. It would be like, 'cause you do the job, make money, but it's like, so like no matter what happens, I'm like, oh man, like I got that. I always have that. That's always there for me, the comedy. So
the line that I said to the kids is like, your struggle is your gift. So when I talk about like how hard things used to be in my life, and they weren't really that hard. I just thought they were hard at the time because you're going through stuff. Really looking back on it, really wasn't that big of a deal.
But yeah, it's still.
But it's
still
nice.
An issue.
It's something to grow through.
Yeah.
So when I tell the kids like, the struggle is your gift, meaning like that's the thing that's going to set you up. It's not meant to like destroy you.
Right. No.
So I talk to them about like finding their passion and using whatever they think was against them for them, which is kind of what you've done.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
I have. I'm definitely proud of myself for that because it's just like taking a negative into a positive. And, you could sulk about it and whatever.
But the worst thing would have been, because me and you used to talk about this, like saying like, when you're 50 or 60 years old, would you have looked back and said, man, I wish I gave stand-up a try? Oh, that would have been the worst. That would have been worse than you trying it and failing and being like,
Yeah, I would have just been in a bar telling the same story.
I mean, Michael Jordan played for the White Sox. Right. There's something about doing something and trying it, even if you suck at it.
Right. No, it's true. But it's cool, man. Like, everybody always told me, like, when you hit the 7th year, something clicks, and it fucking totally happened. Like, 6.5, somewhere around that range. So it's cool. Like, I'm glad I stuck with it and have passion, because without it, oh, my God. What do you got? If you don't have passion and you don't have love, you're going to shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you need those things in life.
Especially, yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to be passionate about something. Because especially with me, like, I'm not interested in anything. It's funny. People like really thought like when I was younger, my mom, I think he's depressed. No, I'm just bored out of my fucking mind. I'm really not depressed. I'm just pretty bored, So I think that's what it comes down to. But then playing footsie. But then with stand up, it's like, I mean, you've done enough shows where it's like when it goes well, it's like that's that feeling. You're like a drug addict. Like you're looking for that feeling again. So like when other things.
The only part I hate is when
you forget everything right before you go on stage.
Is like an hour before. Like my least favorite part is the anticipation.
I hate that too. I hate that too.
Once it's like 10 minutes away and I'm going up, I'm excited. And then once I'm up there, I'm like, this is exactly where I want to be.
Yep.
And then when I'm off, I'm like, why did I just do that?
It's so weird.
It's such a weird journey.
It is a weird
mental journey.
I hate sometimes, to be honest, when I have a day off and I have a show, because the way my mind is, what am I going to think about? I'm going to think about the show the whole day. And it's good. I'm in the moment. I'm getting myself, in the mode, but it's like, I just want to get up there already. Jesus, like you said, 2 hours before is the worst. You're just like, all right, what am I? Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that joke.
How do you
maybe I should.
And in case this my Mevo dies, YouTube, it's been fun. I'll just continue audio.
Yeah.
But how do you nicely say? So like, the thing I always struggle with is how to not be rude.
Okay.
So when it's like 10 minutes and I'm about to go up, you gotta stop talking to me. Not you, but like the world. Like everybody's gotta stop.
I get it, man.
And I thought other comics would know that, but some comics like are talking to you and it's like,
they don't get it.
Can you get out of my head?
Yo, that is the worst. And no, I don't think that's. I don't. Maybe just like, hey man, like I just gotta kind of go over stuff.
I just walk away, like
But it's frustrating to me because it's like, how the fuck do you not know that? As a comic too, like how do you not know that I'm getting ready?
Like if I did this to you, not you, but the person, like
I know.
There's no way.
Dude, I've had friends, and obviously it wasn't you either. I had friends come up to me before show, and this is when I was starting out, and they would be like, yo man, like what are we doing after this? I'm like, yeah, just getting ready for the show, man. I don't want to talk. I'm like, oh, sorry, Mr. Big Shot.
Yeah.
Mr. Big Shot. No, it's a live show. It's like
I've told you this before, I think, but when we first started going, I think when we were on the way, that it was your second or third show, but I saw you for the first time doing open mics, and
just hanging out.
We were with no, not that one. We were, but I was with LD, and I just remember it like there was a couple things. She would just piss me off, but I remember her saying like she was trying to talk to you about something, and we were about to walk into the thing, and I said to her, and I go, you like don't talk to the talent before they're about to perform. And she goes, talent, like you're calling him talent.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, that's what you refer to them as.
Right.
Like that's just my head from like
that's funny.
filmmaking, and this is like a real skill.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, it was.
Even though it didn't feel like it, but you
Yeah.
have to you almost have to think, because when you first start stand up, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but you have to believe that this is still like a craft that you're going to perfect. So you take it serious.
Yeah,
like
for
anything
sure.
else.
Definitely. I mean, I remember like, so it was funny, like those first 2 shows, my first show ever, Nosebleed right before. You remember that, right? Weren't you there, or was it?
I don't remember Nosebleed. I think that's so funny though.
Nosebleed immediately right
I'm just
before.
glad that it happened to you.
Yes, anxiety. It was from anxiety, 100%. I remember looking it up later. And then the next show after that, you think, oh, it'll go better. No, you have to follow the guy in the wheelchair, and you don't even have what's close to what it takes to
That
follow
show
that
I'm
guy.
never gonna forget.
Oh, me neither. That was like, do you remember the only laugh that I got? Was dead silent. I just did like 4 jokes in a row that bombed. And the only laugh I got was I stopped and I heard laughter from the bar, and I go, that's good when there's more laughs coming from the bar. That was it. That's all I got. I was like, that was the only laugh I got for like 7 minutes of just dying. And what's good about that is, talk about humbling. Not that I was like cocky, but you're like not.
No, you were loose that night.
I was loose that night with the guy. I had the new girlfriend there.
Yeah,
I
the
was
girl
stupid.
and some alcohol.
And you're not like, I don't want to say like you're cocky, but you just don't realize how hard it is in the beginning, because you're just do some jokes.
Well, you just had a good
died up
show.
there.
You were feeling good. You were like, okay, I got the box other people, and like Mike Tyson stared at them. Like everybody was thinking like, oh, that other guy's screwed.
Oh yeah.
That's what it felt like watching you. Before you got up there. I was just like, I was looking at you. I'm like, there's no way you can go from that to performing
when you're brand new.
Brand new, right? Brand new, exactly.
Even now, it's hard.
No, now you could.
Now you could do it, but it depends on the show. But like if you're doing like not new stuff, you could do it.
It'd be so cool to put you now back into that situation.
That would be cool.
I would love to see you follow a paraplegic now.
That would be really cool.
Because you, for the first minute,
I'm talking all about that. I'm like, listen, man, I'm sorry, but like, it's hard to follow. Like, yeah, I have to comment on it for sure. That would be cool to go back. Also, there's probably good group of people that like saw me in the beginning, like I sucked, and I like haven't seen me since. It's almost like a bad sexual experience. I can't let it go. I'm like, I need them to see me again.
That was a bringer. I think you had to bring 8 to that Connecticut.
Yeah.
Or
So like, listen,
at least 6.
yeah, we really like your stuff. Bring 8 people. Like, you've never saw me before. You just know that I'm bringing 8 people. Yeah, that was a struggle.
What is that? Butter something?
What's that?
Was it that hotel?
The club?
Yeah, that wasn't Butterfields.
It was
Bananas? Not Bananas. It wasn't Bananas.
No, I don't remember, but it was in Stratford, Connecticut.
It didn't really exist. It was in a hotel lobby.
In my mind, I wanted it to not exist. Yeah, that was a rough one. I had a guy fell asleep at a show recently, and it was so much fun, dude. He was hitting on his girlfriend. Like, it looked like he was drunk. He was like whispering to her, and then all of a sudden he was just like leaning on her shoulder. So you would have been so proud of me, man. I finished the joke, and he was like right here. So I was like, what the fuck is happening over here? And I was like looking. The whole crowd like looked, and I was miming what he was saying to her. He was like whispering in her ear. I was like, yo, girl. I was like, I got the buffet tomorrow. Like, you just come back to my room. Like, I don't know what came over me. I was like, fuck it, just do it. Who cares? It's like your 4th show in AC. Who cares? And then he stopped, and I was like, oh shit, I drank too much. Like, I was just like saying what he was saying, and then he like fell asleep, and I was like, oh, now I'm gonna go to bed. And I was like making fun of him, and he didn't even know. It was perfect.
It's like really cool. You're like in the AC circuit.
It is cool, man, and it's cool because I'm on the radar of that owner of the guy Emilio, who owns all those clubs, which is cool. And yeah, he.
They're still naming people Emilio.
Yeah, well, he's 38. It was funny. He came to the best club he has is Fairfield, Connecticut. I need you to come to the show. It's just they're great. They're the. Yeah, it's like on the shore.
And it's BYOB.
Yeah. And it's funny, like people don't think that they can do it. Like, they're like, really? I know. It's like the Wild West out here. Like anything goes. You could do whatever you want here. So Emilio came to the show, and I was like, all right. So I'm not doing any new stuff because the owner's here. I'm like, I'm gonna go with my A shit.
Right.
And then he left right before my set. I was like, I did the new stuff, which was good, but and it went well. I was like, oh, no, of course. Yeah. He was just there for a little bit, but yeah, man. AC circuit. I just like saying circuit too.
I was in a dating circuit. That's where I met
This
Gerber
is what I wanted to tell you. Back in 09. This is what I wanted to tell you. I'm glad you said circuit. It reminded me. So the first show that I ever did, you were there and you filmed it. You brought your camera to Stand Up New York. It was an open mic.
Yes.
The guy that hosted that show, that open mic, a headline with me in AC, and I drove with him like 2 weeks ago, and I told him that. And he was
wow.
like, it was like such a cool, right? Like, dude, I was like, that's so cool. I was like, you're running the open mic. You were a few years in, maybe. He's like, yeah, I was like 3 years in, and I was brand
him in the car.
No.
Oh yeah,
that helped.
Fine.
That would
one
it
more.
was Dan. I had Dan Altana, which was weird. Was there was another? I went with like a girl one time, and she was like,
With Lori.
funny. Lori.
The first time I met her when
Who's
I was
Lori?
still loose.
Who's Lori?
Palmentary.
Lori. Oh, the comic. Yes. Oh, that's right. She did the show.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this would be fun. We'll like make jokes and laugh and be miserable together, and
Nothing.
it was like awkward talking to her.
Yeah. Well,
So
I don't know if that's all on you.
No, I know. No, she's hilarious, but like
Really funny.
You just get into like I think you get into an illusion sometimes.
It's like both
where
of
you're
you are
like,
just like uncomfortable. Yeah. Well, that's.
you know, this stand up. Oh, this could be. We could. That's what I mean. I was like, we could write together. This would be like. Maybe this will be it.
There was.
Might have been the worst thing. Like a comic marrying another comic might be the worst thing you could do.
So we have to talk about hope. Yeah, sorry to cut you
Hope?
off. Just hope. I want to talk about like this false hope you have in your
Oh,
head sometimes
yeah.
in stand up. I was dating a girl that was gonna come to a show, and it was in Scarsdale. And for some reason, I was like, these like fundraiser shows are usually great, usually good people, whatever. And she's gonna come to the show. I literally was like thinking of like me riding off with like a cigar. I had this whole thing planned. She was gonna be loving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's late to the show, number one, which is pissing me off. So now I'm going over my set. She's texting me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be late. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be going up second, third, whatever. So I go up there, and she's not there yet, which is annoying me, obviously. And then it's just not going well. And then she comes in like halfway through, and I'm just like, this night couldn't have gone any different. I thought we ended up leaving together. We ended up leaving separately. The show wasn't great. Ah, man. Yeah, it was a rough one.
So who you dating now?
No one. Nobody. The girl that I was talking about with the breakup text, that was like 2 weeks ago.
But you still swipe and stuff?
Yeah, I still swipe miserably. I don't know what else to do.
You say miserably?
Miserably. No, you're just over it at this point. You know what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm actually going speed dating. Get this, for the third time. Yes, I'm doing it for a third fucking time. It's unbelievable, dude. You know why? It's like, why the hell not? I mean, you know, because I can walk away with a joke at this point. And you've never done the speed dating, right? You did like something.
I have never done speed dating,
You did the
but I've always wanted to.
Thank you. Well, I could fill you in. Basically, it's like every person you'd reject on online dating in one week, pretty much. That's what speed dating. And I'm there too, so I'm trying out bits on you. But yeah, that's what speed dating is.
You tried a new bit on me when I wasn't paying attention. I'm just making sure that phone doesn't die, so I just plug something new in. You want to try it again?
No. But no, I'm doing it. It's tomorrow night. I'm going tomorrow night. So if you guys want to see me, you can check out me at Speed Dating tomorrow night, undisclosed location. You know what the people in the bar that know what's going on but aren't affiliated? It's so awkward. You'd be like, yeah, so you're a lawyer. I'm like, yeah, that guy's looking at us, huh? Like, it's so awkward.
Wait, so when you do speed dating, are you like so you would sit across from somebody like this? Is there also like another pair right here?
This is what I really want to tell you. Yes, because you would love this. Yeah, you're sitting like.
I want to ask Wendy if I can just go.
Just to watch, right?
No, to participate.
Oh,
but like
I'll never, obviously.
right.
I'll
film it. Like I'll record
be
myself.
hilarious. So the girls don't move, which is, the guys go to them. So the girls are like stationed there. But dude, sometimes it doesn't line up.
Sounds like a trap for the girls.
Imagine
hearing that in the beginning. All right, girls, so you can't move.
There's no exits. Right. The lights are off. You're like, what? That guy's not wearing pants. But no, so you're sitting on a date. So like right now, you're my date. I'm talking to you. There's a date going on here, but sometimes there's not enough people. So dude, there's an empty seat, no guy, and there's a girl just sitting there listening to every single word you're saying, and then she's next. So it's like awkward. She's probably listening like, is he gonna give me the same spiel? Like she could hear everything.
Can't we get a holding spot for that guy so he's not listening in? Like
it's not even a guy. There's
like
there's no guy
That's
here.
what I'm saying.
Oh, like somebody to hold and
Yeah,
like
great. Just, like something.
Or have the girl go to the bar. Just get out of there. So you're talking, and then like you sit there, and then one girl was funny. She's like, yeah, so I heard everything, and I was like, this is great. I wish you were more attractive. I'll be honest, but so yeah, it's just so weird. You're just talking to them. And then imagine I was just like, yeah, so I'm an astronaut. You start making shit up. It's like, you're not an astronaut, you're a teacher.
Tornado chaser. So
that's a very weird dynamic of speed dating. You're sitting next to the person that's like on deck, so to speak. So it's almost like, do I try to impress this girl so she hears it, and and then like play it cool with her. You know what I mean? Like there's so many like psychology things that go into it.
Well, if you knew that the girl coming up was definitely the one you wanted to talk to,
yeah,
you could like say some like BS to this one, and then when she comes sit down, be like,
she knows.
oh my god, thank God. Like, so here's the truth.
You're like,
I'm not really broke.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just like make up, to try to impress her.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
That's just weird.
What I do like at the end was it's kind of like online dating. You like submit on like an online thing who you liked, and if it matches, you get their number and email or whatever. So it's like you don't do any of it.
What does it cost you?
$30.
$30.
Yeah. And the last one I went to was actually like a great venue. Like the venue was really cool. It was like totally separate. And what was I gonna say? Oh, and then like sometimes the girls are like, oh, like let's hang out at like after the thing. And it's like, oh, you gotta wait to see my response. You don't know if I like you yet. You know what I mean? Like
a girl said that to you. Let's hang out after.
She was like, well, like she's like, a few of us are going. This is what happens also. Girls.
So like I know this is speed dating. That's moving way too fast.
That's funny. This is way too fast for me. Girls go in groups of like 4. So like, I kind of discover this. I'm like, oh, they're here together. They're like doing this as like a group. Yeah. But that's so weird because it's like, oh, you like my friend.
Betsy used to go, but she always went with somebody else. So she wasn't like show up by herself.
Right. And for a guy, I'm like, I don't want another competition here. Get out of here. I don't want to bring a guy.
Girls only knew. I just don't understand what girls don't know. It's so easy for them to meet a guy.
So easy.
You could talk to anybody you want to.
Go outside.
You just have to like do this.
Go outside.
Just look over at them.
Check them out. You'll be good. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I tell this to Wendy all the time. It's like if I sat at a bar, I could just sit there by myself for 2 hours. Nobody will talk to me.
Nobody.
You have 1 minute.
Oh, you have
1 minute, and there's gonna be it's like flies on shit. Like a guy's gonna talk to you.
Time you like up your bag or coat on the hook, someone's talking to you.
Hey, you come here often? You're alone? This and that.
But their defense would be if it's not the guys that they want. But
no.
Play the numbers.
Yeah, you gotta go through something. I get it.
But the speed dating is just hilarious, and it's a night out, and it's
That Talkify text me again yesterday about. They said they had another match from Talkify service. I don't even remember signing up for it.
A long time ago.
But they like their personal matchmatchers, so I think the girl pays.
Oh. Okay.
And I was looking up their rates. They pay like I think the girls pay something like $100. It's either $100 a month.
Damn.
It's a lot.
Like a membership.
Yeah, but I don't think the guy pays. Oh. But in full disclosure, the women. I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It just wasn't close. So I'm like, oh, is this like a service for women who just have a hard time meeting guys because of everything, the way they look, what they do, how they are, just everything. I'm like,
yeah, it's tough because I tell people that, like, you know, I really want a girl who's like attractive, and then they're like, well, Frank, you know, it's not all about attraction. Like, I'm like, I have a whole list. I'm like, the number one thing I need the attraction to, but then people be like, oh, but that's not, you're not listening. Before anything,
they did that to me too, though.
Then,
because they said, what do you like? They go, what physical attributes do you like? And I go, I really like skinny blonde hair. And they were like, so are you set on that? I was like, you just asked me what I like. You asked me.
Right. Right.
Do you have a follow-up question? I'll tell you more things.
That's
that
funny.
I like.
Yeah. It's like, no, I like skinny blondes. They're like, well, Jeff, it's not like, no, you just freaking asked me what I like. So I told you.
But I think when I said skinny, like I said, I think some of these girls, I don't think there's any skinny girls on this site.
Okay, I see. Attraction's important. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, there's so much more. But initially, you need the attraction.
Wendy and I basically have like sort of like a verbal prenup about that.
I like that.
Like you just can't, it's not saying you have to be like in amazing shape. You definitely cannot let yourself go.
Yeah.
Like the physical appearance is important.
Offer. No, it's true. It really is.
Like I told you, I think I've put on, like a good 5 pounds.
Like it though. Yeah, but 5 you can lose in 2 days.
But Wendy, like she felt it, because I've been telling her, I'm like, because I felt it coming. I was like, I just know what I've been eating. I know how my body reacts. I just knew it was coming.
Sometimes it hits you late too.
It's not the next day.
Yeah, it's not.
It takes a couple of days, and then fat is like there. Now you got to lose that. So I wonder if there's like a temporary place that fat goes, and then you have like a day to burn that, and if you don't, then it goes into like storage.
That would make sense.
But so she was like, we were cuddling, and she's like, I feel it. She was like, I can tell by the way, like you feel like the way I hold you. She goes, you're good. She goes, you're still good. She's like, I don't notice it. She goes, I just feel it. She goes, but when I look at you, I don't see it.
Wait, so you felt it, so you noticed it. You
but
felt
she goes, I'd have a problem if you had 3 more inches. And I'm like, 3 more inches?
Oh,
like, that's a lot.
That's
like
guy.
another 60 pounds.
That's like, yeah, it's usually like an inch is like 20 pounds, I think, or 15 pounds. That's a lot.
Something like that.
That's funny. No, but that's true though, because people always say, oh, you know, like looks, what is it, like looks don't last forever. Yeah, well, personality can, you know, go too.
Yeah, but something about the look. I mean, you can't like you age. You can't help aging, but the way that you look, you can.
Yeah, your appearance, that stuff's important. But I don't.
If you're having Domino's every night, that's what we're talking about.
It's not going to be.
Don't let yourself go.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good little.
If it was important to you, you know, this was actually
non-verbal. That's good.
Somebody actually gave. It was good advice. It's not like profound or anything, but the guy said, he goes, you know, my advice really for relationships is whoever you are in the beginning is how you should plan on staying.
Okay. Yeah,
so
they accept it. Yeah, right.
Well, in the beginning, whether it's physical or how you act, like if you're going out of your way and you get her flowers every day in that first month, you better plan on doing that for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, but if you just get flowers once a month, then just continue where it is. Just maintain that.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're going to expect. That was actually that was nice.
No, that's smart. Because yeah, then it's like, whoa, where's the fall off? And you used to make me eat dinner. Now you don't cook anymore. You know, so. But yeah, obviously it's not about all about attraction, but just initially, that's all I was trying to say to someone, and they were just not listening to me. Like, you actually listen. You're like, all right, I see what you get. That's initial, and then you need, you know, other things after that, like, you know, tits. And, okay, I just want to be a dick. But no, yeah, that's obviously a lot more. But I like the nonverbal. Yeah, you can't come on too strong with like, almost in the beginning, like flowers every day, and it's, you know. She's like, oh, well, where's the orchids?
Your dad was funny the last time I hung out with you was at your dad's house.
I
kept on pushing for somebody very specifically. I don't even remember who it was.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah, make sure, like, you know, they get them together.
Oh.
She's a good girl. She's a good girl.
Oh.
And I'm like,
yeah, I don't know.
really do that.
I know, but I don't know why.
Frank will find his way. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
No, you're at that age, unfortunately, where everybody else around you is like, it's time.
They assume something's wrong with you, which there is, but overall, I'm pretty good.
But it's like this. It's like everybody else wants that for Frank. What does Frank want?
Thank you, Jeff. That's why Jeff's my good friend. Thank you.
No, but really, if you want to be single, just, you know, if you're waiting, whatever.
But
what
also,
does Frank want?
That's a great question. Another thing too, it's like, yeah, they're like, oh, well, you know, you can't be single forever. Yeah, they're like, I just haven't found the right person.
Gandhi was.
That's why I'm still single, because I haven't found the right person. It's not like I'm like seeking out this lifestyle. I'm exhausted. I'm like a DH that's like about to enter retirement. I need to cut a deal, basically. I don't want to be out there forever. It's so annoying.
No, I mean you know me. I mean from almost that month that I met Wendy, I had like made a personal. Oh, as I say her name, she's texting me. Sorry. It's like the moment I was giving up on that, then like so the perfect person, and that's why that joke works so well with my mom now. Like my mom was right.
That's perfect, man.
Yeah, that's so
she was
right.
Funny how that worked.
Stopped looking for it, found the one.
And you found the one.
Sucks.
I stopped looking, and it's not happening.
No, but your app, like, dude, I was celibate. All my apps were gone. I was turning down. Like, I'm not saying like I was turning down dates, but like, you know, people, you get a message from an aunt. Oh, you should meet Becky. Yeah. She's a great hairstyle.
Becky's never work out.
Hairstyles from Yonkers don't work out. Okay.
Let's be honest. Let's get to the real
That's as ginzo as you can get, and I'm not into that.
Yeah.
But I'm not Italian anymore, so I don't need an Italian girl. I don't need a nice Italian girl.
Nice Italian girl. Italian girls are good, but they're dramatic. Could be very dramatic. Okay.
So we're venue shopping.
Oh, nice. Barn.
Yeah, looking at a barn. Dude, it's crazy though. So like this place, I guess I won't say names. It doesn't really matter, but like some just charge based on like head count. So 125 people at this one place, just for the place. This was not counting food, DJ, any dress, whatever. At whatever cost you want to. It was 27,000.
For just what? For 125 people?
I think that was the place and the food. 125 people. It's 30 grand.
It's a good amount of people. Is that what you're trying to do?
And it'll be, our tight list is 100.
Okay.
Our like loose list is 130.
Okay.
But I think we found a place. I mean, we keep on looking at places, but one place we looked at is definitely it.
Cool.
It's just the only problem is it might be too small.
Okay.
But that's also assuming that everybody we send invitations to is coming. And I don't know how that works. I wonder what like the acceptance rate is on invitations.
90 something? Yeah.
I think it's that high. I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure like family, like first cousins are close to that 90 thing.
They're coming.
But when you get to like a B list, you don't even know if those people are gonna come. You know, I'm inviting somebody from California. I don't know if they're gonna come.
Right.
Florida, Jacksonville.
How does it work with like everything's done at the venue, like the person marrying you?
We're probably not gonna do a church.
Oh, okay, cool. That's...
Matthew is gonna marry us.
Oh, you told me that. That's awesome. Nice. That's right. I forgot he's
So really, we just need like the.
What is he?
The wicker. What's that lacquer? What is that called?
Not
a chapel.
I love that you remember the lacquer. Not a gazebo.
What is that called? Altar? Is this called an altar?
No, you're close. A chuppah?
A chuppah. Yeah.
That's what it is in Jewish, though, right?
In Jewish.
In Jewish.
In Hebrew.
That's what it is in Hebrew. But the Jews they call it a chuppah.
Yeah. So really, you just need one of that, and then like if it's nice, we'd do it outside. Nice. But yeah, barn. Like really, when it comes down to it, we just want a building.
That's cool.
An empty building.
Yeah.
So awesome. A warehouse, something like that.
That's cool.
Is a distillery next May? If we picked a venue, like let's say we like this farm and we just said go with it. Really, the venue's the hardest thing. If we decided on a venue, like in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, even we might even think about doing the fall. Venue's the hardest part.
Yeah, right. Because to see if it's booked or whatever. Yeah. Do people really not get married on Friday the 13th? Is that true?
People don't do anything on the 13th.
I heard you get like a great deal on that. Actually, that's hilarious. Yeah. I didn't know that was true. That's crazy.
Yeah. I actually have. I know a guy who got married on the 13th.
How's it going? Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a happy guy.
Like, it has nothing to do with the day that I got married.
He saved on his wedding. But yeah, so the boy's gonna be the ring bearer. Mindy is not gonna be the flower girl. She's gonna be like a junior bridesmaid.
Oh yeah, it's not.
So it's just cool the family's on board. The only thing that's tricky, because there's always one. There is somebody that in her, whether it's a friend or a family, there is somebody who's very adamant about us not being married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
so I got one. But you know what's nice? My last situation, it was like the whole family didn't want me to marry her. Now it's just one. It's
one?
Fine.
Are they like a cousin or something?
Yeah. Somebody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're live. I totally forgot that we're on air. Well, I got so used to the.
No, she's just not happy about it. Okay. I don't think. I think she probably is just. I think she had. Like when people first meet me, because this is what I have to realize. Most people, and I think it's got. Probably imagine this in high school or early 20s when people first met me. They thought I was like a very cocky, full of myself person.
Interesting.
And when they get to know me, they're like, that's not really true.
Yeah.
So I think that was a part of it, but I think she built like her own idea of who I am or what I do.
Okay.
And just didn't like that person.
Okay.
Because she hasn't gotten.
She hasn't got to know you.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten to know me. So it'll change over time.
Yeah, I think it will too.
But that was like a little bit of a stressor at the beginning. It doesn't change anything, but it's just like, really?
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? It's like people aren't like used to people coming like very honest, I think sometimes too. Like I feel like one time you met somebody and you were joking with them and they took it the wrong way. It was like one of my girlfriend's friends. You said something that was funny.
That happens a lot with me.
But I couldn't laugh because it was yeah, it was like my girlfriend.
What I said.
What the hell it was. It was so long ago. It was like one of Liz's friends. But I'm like, this is Jeff. Like, you're just showing up. Like, I forget what the hell it was. And then, of course, the girl got insulted. And I'm like, he's just fucking around. He just doesn't want to do the normal doing. Like, he's just going to come out with something. Like, yeah. That was
like when we were on that date, and I was like, listen, can we not ask, like, what do you do for a living? Where are you from? Sort of questions.
Oh, yeah, you've done
that. And the girl was like, oh, you mean like normal conversations?
You're like, yeah.
I was like, oh.
I got to get going.
We just got there.
I gotta go.
That was the worst part about that.
Oh man, that's annoying. And now I know who it is. Now I figured it all out. That sucks. But oh well.
That sucks.
That they feel that way. I meant for you guys.
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh yeah.
No. I was thinking
for the current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you'll get over it.
But I was prepared for it. Like I told Wendy, because she was like really stressed out about it, and I was like, listen. So from me, like this doesn't bother me at all from what I went through before. Like, yeah, this is gonna be easy, and maybe that other thing prepared me for this, just to not have it be an issue.
The guy had a whole family against me for some reason.
Good.
The guy's spending his whole bank account.
The dad, I just saw the dad for the first time Sunday.
Oh, you just met him?
No, like since we got engaged.
Oh.
He's like, I don't know what's going on with him. There was like no like congratulations. Not that he's like against anything. he's just like oblivious. I think he's just in his own world and doesn't realize like.
Okay, I can see that.
He was like showing me videos of a horse dancing.
And you're like,
they do like these horsing competitions where like the horse, they kind of move like this, like they have to pick up the front right leg and the back left leg at the same time, and they do like this dance, and it's like a competition. I guess
right.
It's like a big thing. And he was showing me that, and I wanted to be like,
hey,
I'm gonna be your son, like real soon.
But what's cool about that is like the fact that he's showing you like this. It's like a dead giveaway that he likes you.
Yes.
But he's just maybe is oblivious and doesn't like. Because if he wasn't into it, he just wouldn't even talk to you.
Right.
I can show you a video and I want to laugh at you or whatever, you know.
He also doesn't really speak a lot of English.
Okay, that could be a barrier too.
But he does. But he'll like tell me a story
okay.
in English.
Oh, okay.
But I'd be like, I don't speak English.
In English. Oh, that's funny. So that's good. You have a whole family now. You just got one. I get it. Chip away.
I only care about.
Chip away.
The only thing that I cared about, I cared about Wendy and her kids.
And
if on board, which they.
It's like, all right, you don't approve? Well, guess who you're not going to be seeing. Sorry.
It's simple as that.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I don't need you for anything. Okay.
I felt like it took a long time to grow up in a lot of ways.
Me too.
Like we should not. I'm talking about mentally, not where we are in life. But
No,
like
no,
mentally,
no.
I feel like 20,
Yeah.
25.
It's also society.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Even being a teacher, dude, I'm not even like making this up like to be funny, but like there's times when I'm like, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the teacher. Like whatever I say, it's like I'm in charge of everything right now. This is great. I'm like, because you used to be in school like for so much, and I'm like, I'm in charge now. They're like, no, you can't go to the bathroom because I said so. Actually, what I tell kids now is in 5 minutes,
And then they forget.
It fuses them, and they don't know. And basically, it means if a lot of kids are asking to go to the bathroom, you're being bored. Playing a game, everybody's fine. Nobody has to use the bathroom anymore. Cops and robbers. All right, I don't have to go to the bathroom. I'm good. You stepped up your game.
This is gonna really interesting.
I didn't.
No, I just gotta. I'll tell you about it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happens because there's.
I want to wrap this.
You know,
up.
it's interesting. Yeah, no, we can wrap up. It's like there's so many things that there's like 3 things that I just will not talk about. And
in general or on this?
One of them.
What do you mean? Like in general, you won't talk about?
Like
or
publicly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Well, that's good. I remember last time I was opening up about I was talking about how I fake it as a man.
We led with porn.
We led with porn, and we closed with God knows what.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
It was like dead air. That's when Eric and Wendy came in, and then it was just
that's
Eric
right.
wasn't even talking into a mic.
Yeah, well,
Wendy was having a side conversation with somebody over there. I listened back to it. I was getting so mad.
Oh, that's great. That was the last one. I forgot about it.
I want you. The next time me and you do it, I want George to be here.
Yes, we have to. He's been dying to do
I
it.
definitely want George here because I'm interviewing. The next on my podcast is there's a couple of guys. Couple of guys. This guy, Dr. Mauricio, who's the superintendent of Peekskill now, he's going to be on this.
Cool.
The county executive of Dutchess County, Mark
nice.
Molinaro, is going to be on there soon. Some other people. So I have like more people.
Awesome.
But so we have time to get you and George back here.
Yeah, we got to get him up, and again,
I like the day and I like weekday. I don't mind that with you. Like when you have like a holiday, we could do it.
Yeah, it makes it so easy for me for that. During the week. For George, it might be tough because I know he's got to work, but I mean, we could always do it on Saturday.
Yeah. All right, let me end this.
Cool.
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, thank you. Man. Good times.